His Red Raiders are 5th in the college football playoff rankings. To the Steelers fans who've been booing the team for lackluster performances the last several weeks, Coach Mike Tomlin agrees with you. Said today he shares the frustrations, understands what makes this thing go, which is winning. Going into the AFC North showdown against the Ravens on Sunday, a matchup where the division lead is up for grabs, Tomlin's team has dropped 5 of 7.
Us means we have to go back to work, and our process for us is the thing for me. Certainly our last performance wasn't up to snuff, but I don't know that it lessens our belief in self or our ability to deliver individually and collectively moving forward.
Mike Tomlin. The Steelers claimed former Vikings receiver Adam Thielen off waivers and waived corner Darius Slay. Team also signed corner Asante Samuel Jr. to the active roster from the practice squad. NBA Pelicans power forward Zion Williamson out at least 3 weeks due to a right adductor injury.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again. In anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks. But super excited to be here.
Phil Benotti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right. Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader, here on this Tuesday, December 2nd. Yes, it is another day here on our show. 3 hours to you for going all the way up to 6 p.m. today before we set it off for the evening programming for you all to enjoy and get off and ready to roll for your evening and afternoon. Good to be here, Phil Benotti, alongside a couple of great producers in with us. Of course, Tim, Vera, and Dana. We'll get that on in a second. But first, a little house cleaning items. Of course, big thanks to Tony D for tossing it to us in the previous hour. Tony D's show, Sportsline Bulldog Hour with Tony D, from 2 to 3 p.m. on the weekdays on 1430 ESPN. You also have it live and on demand on the 1430 ESPNFresno.com website or on the ESPN Fresno app. His show, my show, Paul Metter's show, the Central Valley Sports Report, which is a show you can listen to on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to noon. I know Paul's wrapping up the winter side here. He'll have a Christmas break, and then he'll be back for more show in January. So I know he's got a few shows left before we take the little Christmas break from y'all. Like I said, good to be here. If you want to get in on the show, Lee's Air Hotline is the way to get in on the conversation. 559-320-1430, the way to reach our show. 559-320-1430, the way to get on our show. Lee's Air Weather Check sitting at a nice 52 degrees and cloudy all day today. A little more cloudy than yesterday. 53 degrees tomorrow and cloudy. We'll still see a little partly cloudiness all the way through Thursday. And as we creep into the weekend, could be just sitting around those high 50s for the rest of the way. Could see some 60s next week, but overall, pretty much same temperatures, chilly winter weather here in the Central Valley that I'm sure you all surely enjoy every day as it goes along. Like I said, we're in 3 hours of our show today. We got a good lineup for you. Of course, Paul Leffler going to join me in about 15 minutes or so to recap football, talk a little basketball. Always good to visit with Paul here, and it's a good time with the regular season wrapping up. We'll do the Benotti Blitz today, ranking the Week 14 slate of games. Can't believe I'm saying Week 14 here already for us. A lot to talk about with the upcoming week. And Asa will be in the final hour, as he always is, in that 5 o'clock hour slot. You never know what you're going to get in that time frame. So can't wait for that. Like I said, good to be here with a couple of great producers, Dan Veer and Daniel, here with me. Guys, how are we doing on this Tuesday afternoon? How are we feeling? How are we doing? I can't hear you. Nope, I don't have you. I have you on the wrong thing. I apologize. So there you go. That is on me. That is on me. Now you should be able to hear you.
Hi.
Hello. Oh, wow. We can hear ourselves now.
That is on me. I had mic 4 open on the other side.
It's all good.
I forget to switch it over.
Telepathically.
Yes. Just if you scream real hard.
You can hear me in mic 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Good. Felt good with the show yesterday.
Yeah.
Ready to go today. So, yeah.
Good takes. Daniel, haven't seen you since the Thanksgiving holiday. How have you been? Good Thanksgiving for you?
Oh, I had a great Thanksgiving, and then Mike Tomlin took away all my happiness.
I know Tamir's been dying to get your thoughts on Steelerdom right now in terms of it, but we may have to save that for the NFL hour.
Yeah, I had a whole segue about that.
Yeah, so we're gonna save those takes for a little bit later in the show. Outside of that, though, we're doing great. I'm feeling great. Patriots win last night, 11-2 into a bye week. Actually, I'm mad that the bye's here, just in the sense that I don't get to watch Patriots football for a week. I've been enjoying the straight 13 weeks of New England Patriots football, and I'm sad it's gone. What a dominant win for them last night.
I could use a bye right now.
I know you could use a bye. You already had one, though. And I'm sorry. You had one about week 4. That's when the early bye really gets and bites you in the butt in terms of that. No, last night, fun game. Fun game in the sense of there was some crazy stuff we saw. Not in the sense of, I would say, competitive football, but, in any Giants football game, you're just going to see things you've never seen before, it feels like. And the two plays I think about are like, of course, the Jackson Dart just getting lit up on the sideline and just everything with that whole situation. And then the other situation, I can only think of the other play, which is the Younghoe Koo just kicking to the ground. I don't know what did he explain himself, what he was trying to do there? I've never seen that before.
I'm going to say my hypothesis about this is I think he was trying to get under the ball, and he got a little bit too much under the ball and just kicked the ground. Looks
like me swinging like a 6-iron in the middle of the fairway with about 210 to go.
Right. You see that in golf a lot, but football, I've never seen it before. I don't know if you have, or if you have, Daniel.
I've seen it.
Have you seen it in soccer? Have you seen it in soccer?
Yeah.
Guys
for penalty kicks.
Guys just totally chowed in the ground before they get the ball.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's got to feel like the dumbest feeling in the world, right? Like, it's crazy. Like,
when it's your whole job to do that, yeah.
when you literally have nothing else to do other than be good at that, and then you show that. It looked like my kick when I kicked a field goal at a halftime game at San Jose State versus Fresno State. It looked like my field goal, except it rolled forward. I hit ball. So I could say it was a little bit better than Younghoe Koo's effort last night.
You should start for the Giants, maybe.
No, I'm all right. You couldn't pay me money to be on the New York Football Giants right now in terms of what that team is playing like. And regardless, interesting game last night. Patriots in the top spot. I do want to ponder a question maybe later in this show of did Matthew Stafford's MVP chances take a hit from last night's performance with Drake May? Might be a different conversation. As you know, I'm on like a hot take island maybe with the Dak Prescott MVP campaign. I might be the only one in America pushing this one right now. But I'm waiting for like the first takey guys or all the other kind of people out there to start saying, hey, with Dak, if they win a couple in a row, I'm ready for that take to emerge. I'm trying to be the first and foremost person ahead of it right now. But I do think last night was an interesting discussion in terms of whether Stafford's case took a hit last night in that. But maybe, I don't know. Well, let's say that because I want to get into the Fresno State state of mind right now because we do have Paul Leffler coming on the show momentarily here. And we did have some news. Sports Story brought to you by Valley Pure. We had some Mountain West honors come out from the Mountain West Conference in terms of football, and some interesting choices to say the least in terms of what we've seen out of this conference. I don't know if they got some good things right. I'm pretty sure they didn't get anything right in terms of it. Feels like they didn't. Now, this was chosen by 12 head coaches and a select media panel. So go figure with whatever that means in terms of that, whatever's weighted versus it. Anthony Calandria wins Offensive Player of the Year from UNLV, the quarterback for them. Kind of thought that should have been the Utah State quarterback, Bryson Barnes, but I digress. Defensive Player of the Year, Jackson Eck, which is, I got to believe it's the coach's son in New Mexico, linebacker for New Mexico. Honestly, I think Mountain West had some really good defenses this year, so I think there's an argument for a lot of different guys. Defensive Player of the Year. Was it a co-defensive player of the year? Is that where we're set up here? Is that why I'm seeing two of them?
I think so.
They gave Chris Johnson a defensive back for San Diego State. Now I do feel like San Diego State was the best defense out there in terms of it. How about our guy Kansei Matsuzawa, the kicker? I've been hyping him up before that Fresno State Hawaii game. I called him one of my big difference makers, and now he ends up winning Special Teams Player of the Year.
He's also a Lou Groza Award finalist.
I root for that guy.
Yeah,
sure. Matsuzawa. He could have kicked a better kick than Young Wei-Koo last night. I would guarantee that.
Very true.
Yeah. Niners draft pick next year?
No, I don't know. MEP, he's cooking right now.
I'm just saying. Let's keep an eye on it.
Yeah, maybe long term.
Quarterback, freshman of the year is quarterback Micah Alejandro out of Hawaii. I think that's a good decision. I was really impressed with his year this year in terms of it. Coach of the year going to Jason Echo, New Mexico, and I think that makes sense. A team that was very close to getting to a Mountain West championship. And literally for the first time in a long time, I think they were so close. They hadn't been like in contention in like 16 years or something crazy like that in the conference. So good for them. But the headline here is only one first team selection for Fresno State in this Mountain West Conference, and it comes from the offensive side. Jacob Smallmer, congrats to him, is one of the 5 offensive linemen selected on the first team. But I feel something is missing here, Daniel and Tanvir, because on the defensive side, not a single Bulldog is found for a defense that we felt was historically one of the best Fresno State defenses we've seen in quite some time, and yet the respect is not there. Although I would say, is this indicative of the totality of its parts, like we were arguing yesterday, versus what individual talents that we have seen on this team showcase in it? I think there's a grave mistake made in terms of all-conference honors here with the Bulldogs. Now, I will say a couple of Bulldogs make it to the second team on that side, and it's Jaden Pearson, who's a second-team linebacker, and you get Azilian Hamilton as a DB on the second team as well. I'm really frustrated that Simeon Harris isn't anywhere on these lists as well. Kind of shocked Finn Claypool didn't get there as well. So I think there's a little disrespect from the Mountain West and not recognizing how great this defense has been, especially in forcing turnovers. On the flip side, I think it's a travesty. Is that too drastic of a word to say? I think it's a complete misallocation of the recognition this Mountain West shows here.
Yes, Simeon Harris especially was shocking to me that he didn't make either first or second team. He leads the Mountain West, tied with Mervyn Kenyon III from Nevada with 5 interceptions this year. And I understand interceptions are not the only thing, but when we're talking about Fresno State, which was the second-ranked defense in terms of points allowed per game, and you're not going to put the number one corner in terms of stats on the first team, I find that terrible. I also think that the first Boise State cornerback, I don't believe should have been there. I think Simeon Harris should be in there instead of Ty Benefield, but that's just me.
But Benefield was the name for the NFL people. Like he's a high prospect, isn't he? He's like
yeah, sure. But if we're talking
totality of play,
exactly.
Yeah. Daniel, you shocked? No Fresno State on the first team defense, even though we felt like this defense was the way they were winning all season long.
I am definitely shocked. I'm barely finding this out right now. I didn't even know these were released today, but
yeah,
like I am really shocked because like there was one thing we really talked about all year was how good this defense is and how much we were praising them, and to not have a defensive player on the first team, it's definitely really shocking.
It's hard. It's hard to get everything right in this situation, but I do think it's like Pearson with being a leading tackler all throughout this year. I know Hamilton's play really. I think he was a first teamer in the way he was playing this year in terms of it. I think Simeon Harris should have been at least a second teamer. That's just tough to take. Dijon Lafitte is an honorable mention. I failed to mention the other honorable mentions. Rayshon Luke, who I don't think the stats bear out how special he has been this year for the Bulldogs in terms of his big play ability. I think it was a little stat looking instead of the totality of what kind of player he was for the Bulldogs, and I think Rayshon Luke deserves at least another look with some of the other running back situation. I mean, were you impressed with the Boise State running back Dylan Riley this year? I don't know. Miles Davis was really good, instrumental for Utah State down the stretch of winning their football games. I can give props to the UNLV San Diego State guys with their stats, but I feel like Speedy, God, if he just had if he had that kick return against Oregon State, I bet you'd be here on the kick return side too as well.
Yeah, I think he is clearly he just didn't get there because the Fresno State backfield is split between so many guys, whether it's Bryson or Elijah Gilliam or Speedy Luke, as you said. So I think that was what the downfall was, but I feel like in the coming years, this guy is going to be on these type of lists.
I don't know if I mentioned Josiah Freeman, also an honorable mention wide receiver. That was the one I'm on. All right, good for him. No offense to, I just didn't know if any of our passing attacks should have been recognized this year.
I mean, if there was one, it was going to be him.
Yeah. I'm a truther for Richie Anderson, though, the tight end position, but that's just me. I'm more of a tight end truther. But I don't know if anybody's going to be Rocky Beers and Dorian Thomas this year in the Mountain West. I think those are two good names on the tight end side of things. So Bulldogs get some recognition, but feels a little slighted from that side of things, and we'll see how it goes from there. I want to get Paul Leffler's reaction to that, and so that's why we're going to give him a call here right after this break. Paul Leffler, voice of the Bulldogs, is going to join us next right here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
You'll find them at every big box hardware store.
Are you sure we carry that?
We've all met at least once, or tried to chase one down. Legally and by all appearances, they are employees.
I was going to say, you could just
but they are
when do you know where I can find one?
Because sometimes the hardest thing to find at a big box store is help. So you should probably come to Fresno Ag Hardware. All the hardware you need, and the help to find it.
Somebody called as we were doing our
At
intro, and I
Citizens
was
Business
just
Bank,
like,
we've been taking a personal approach to banking for over 40
I didn't
years
see the name,
and are consistently recognized as one of the top performing banks in the nation. Hi, I'm Susan Woosner, Senior Vice President and Manager of Citizens Business Bank in Fresno. We believe in the importance of building long-lasting and genuine relationships with our customers. We want to provide you with the solutions you need to grow your business because your success is our success. Citizens Business Bank, member FDIC.
Hey Bulldog fans, Lynn's Restaurant Group, a proud partner of Fresno State Athletics, has launched a brand new app. With over 8 locations like J-Pot, Ramen Hayashi, and Hino Uishi, the app brings all your favorites together in one place. Order ahead, skip the wait, and earn rewards every time you dine. Whether it's game night or family night, the app has you covered. New members even score $5 in LRG credit just for signing up. Download the Lynn's Restaurant Group app today and start earning with every visit. Go Dogs!
Do you want a Victor Wembanyama card ornament from a holiday box?
New programs coming up. Starting soon, you can sign up for monthly membership.
I pulled, those holiday basketball boxes? They come with like an ornament. So I pulled the Wemby. If you want the Wemby ornament.
Sign-ups, the great facilities there are always available for rentals, including birthday
I will not.
So take advantage of that today, especially as we get to the
Harden, I despise with every ounce of my being.
On the website, valleyathletics.co. Valley Athletics, developing the athlete.
The last That's good clipper with Blake Griffin.
Craving big flavor? Head to Me and Ed's Victory Grill in Fresno. Bite into the legendary Victory Burger.
And good is like a loose term. I'm not talking basketball good. I'm talking just in general.
From those legendary Me and Ed's pizzas to fresh salads, cold drinks, and a warm hometown vibe. Every bite and sip is a win. Watch the game, catch up with friends, or bring the family. Me and Ed's Victory Grill in Granite Park, Fresno. Don't miss ESPN's Major Wager Monday Night Football every week. Come hungry, leave a champion. Victory tastes better here. Life gets messy, but your space doesn't have to. We are Rise and Shine Janitorial and Commercial Cleaning Services, where we clean because your time is important. From offices to schools to medical facilities, Rise and Shine handles it all with our trained staff and high-performance standards. Big jobs or small, Rise and Shine will never lock you into a contract. So let us take the stress off your plate. Contact Rise and Shine Janitorial and Commercial Cleaning Services. Call 559-649-5391 or visit riseshine559.com.
Introducing The Sidebar, a brand new open-air beer garden at Me and Ed's Coney Island Grill in River Park. Experience a new way to catch a game, hang with friends, and enjoy new appetizers, char-grilled burgers, salads, wings with over 10 house-made sauces, and of course, world-famous Me and Ed's pizza. Thirsty? Try our self-pour taps with over a dozen craft beers, wines, ciders, and craft seltzers, plus a full bar with an impressive selection of tequilas, whiskeys, and craft cocktails. The Sidebar at Me and Ed's Coney Island Grill, now open in River Park.
At Helena Agri-Enterprises, we're committed to helping you make the best agronomic decisions for your farm. That's why we combine cutting-edge technology with superior product. Helena's agri-intelligence solutions use in-depth analysis to identify potential problems in the field before they take root. Combined with a complete line of high-quality crop production and crop protection inputs, Helena has the tools to help you increase productivity, enhance performance, and maximize your return on investment. Contact your local Helena representative or authorized dealer to create the right plan for your farm with Helena products and agri-intelligence solutions.
All right, welcome back to Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno. It is just that time of year now. We love it. Getting closer and closer here in the month of December, which means we got a lot to talk about when it comes to Fresno State athletics. And I'm now joined by the voice of Fresno State on the Lee's Air Hotline. Paul Leffler, are you getting in this Christmas spirit just yet now? Now we're in the top of December. I'm sure you're already getting there. Do we have Paul? Wonder if we have Paul yet. Oh, there he is.
Hey, sorry about that.
No, you're good. We're just we're getting in the Christmas spirit. We were just getting a little let it snow at the top of the segment, so I'm wondering if you're getting the Christmas spirit as we get into December here.
You know, Phil, as we have the Sound of Freedom soaring in overhead, thanks to our F-15C Eagles of the 194th Fighter Squadron, the 144th Fighter Wing, the Air National Guard, the Griffins. I'm always in the Christmas spirit, man. 24/7, 365. That's what life's all about. I don't think you want me to sing for you.
No.
But, the Christmas spirit is alive and well.
Well, you know, maybe another time, but we got a lot to talk about, right, with this, with everything going on. Of course, busy week for Fresno State, and want to lead off with football. Of course, I'm sure you took a peek at some of the All Mountain West honors from the conference, or last time looking at this list before we move into a new conference for football. But one thing that stuck out to me, you know, this is a great defense. Why are there no first-teamers? I think that's something that stood out for me. Wish there was a little more recognition on that side of the ball, but maybe it's a totality of its parts from this season from Fresno State.
Oh, I agree with you. I mean, that was a championship defense. I mean, that defense did everything it could to win a championship. And, you know, you look at they had one letdown, right? They didn't play well against Colorado State, and that cost them. And I know it's real. On one hand, you know, you go 8-4 in the first year of the new coaching staff, and that's really good. On the other hand, you know, you're a few plays away from hosting a Mountain West championship game, which the Bulldogs would have done if they were 7-1 in conference. That defense was phenomenal. Nick Benedetto did an unbelievable job. You look at where they're ranked nationally in the top 10 and 15 in some of the most important categories. But I agree. I thought Simeon Harris was one of the best defensive players in the conference, you know, during Mountain West play, especially the last 4 or 5 weeks. Just a game changer, you know, and it's exciting to know he's going to be back next year. But I voted for him first team all conference. You know, Alzillian Hamilton, another guy, Pearson, Tim Claypool, what a difference he made down the stretch. I mean, he was a beast, and one of those one-year Bulldogs that I think everybody who watched the games is going to remember really fondly because of the way he played the ball game. That was big, and I think the guys who were recognized were definitely deserving. You look at those honorable mention picks, and a lot of them have a chance to come back. Even potentially Josiah Freeman. Remember, he only played in 4 games last year, so he might be able to get a year back. That would be a big boost, especially how quick and explosive he looked the last couple of weeks. He had that 55-yard run called back. Some of the moves he made against San Jose State, that was impressive. And everybody knows how special Speedy Luke is. So, having him back in the Bulldog uniform next year is a priority. There's a lot to look forward to, including hopefully, in about a week or less, knowing where the Bulldogs are going to be bowling.
Yeah, it's always nice to know there's another game on the horizon and the benefit of that. And, I think Coach Entz is happy to have that experience. Of course, I think he's looking a little more near to the future right now with signing day approaching tomorrow. So I got to imagine there's a lot of thinking and a lot of hoping that the guys land where they land. It's an interesting time for a coach who has to balance everything, but I'm sure it's a fascinating 48 hours for Coach Entz here as we hit the buzzer here tomorrow.
Oh, without a doubt. Right? I mean, that's such a huge piece of the puzzle, and from all accounts, they've done a really good job with this recruiting class. Being able to, as long as everything goes as planned tomorrow, flip a quarterback who'd been committed for a long time to what's going to be a future Pac-12 rival and stay home to play for the Dogs. That's really significant. Some of the guys they're signing on the line, and really, I think we saw this year when they dominated the line of scrimmage, they were really hard to beat. When it went the other way, that created a disadvantage. So focusing on that toughness, on being physical, having another year to really implement the nutrition program, the strength training program, the culture of that, toughness wins mantra, that's big. So, if you're part of the Bulldog Foundation, there's going to be a special social hour tomorrow at 5:30 at the Point Patio Bar and Bistro to meet some of those recruits to hear from Coach Entz. We're actually going to do a radio show out there from 6:30 to 7:30 with him and some of the guys who signed. Yeah, that's a big day, and then it'll be these bowl practices and a bowl game. And, Pat Hill always, I thought, made a really good case that the bowl game and those practices and that game can be a bridge to the next year. And we saw that happen many times during his tenure. You look at, 2004, they win that overtime thriller on the blue turf against Virginia. One of the best wins Fresno State's ever had.
Yeah.
You look at how good that opponent was. And they parlay that into the next year and that awesome run where, they were in the national rankings and almost knocked off an absolute dynasty in USC. That all started with that bowl game in 2004 and those practices. So I think this is not an inconsequential month ahead for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, certainly. We're still figuring out where they're going to go. Of course, we'll know that sooner rather than later. But you mentioned some of those opportunities that pop up. You think of the guys who step up in those kind of games, and what can you kind of look towards with the future of it and how Coach Entz will approach it. And I want to ask about his approach, really. You've been around a lot of first-year coaches. You've been in some first-year coaching seasons with this program, and you've observed how they've handled the changing nature of everything as the Jets fly over. But
they're coming again.
Here they come. What have you observed most? What has stood out to you most about how he's approached his first year as head coach of Fresno State?
Well, I think he's had a feel for the big picture, right? I'm sure any coach looks at a season and says, well, if I would have done this instead of this, would this have happened instead of this? You're never going to avoid that. But I don't think he gets consumed by it. He keeps his eyes on the big picture. He's done a tremendous job of engaging the community, getting to know the community, engaging the alumni. That's a huge part of it. And I think every Bulldog football alum knows how welcome he is around the program. That's one of those things that, it seems like a no-brainer, but I've seen too many coaches in too many sports where that hasn't been their mindset. So it's refreshing to see that. I think he genuinely appreciates the community, the people of the Valley, and, wants to keep building on something special tradition. So he's off to a great start, and hopefully signing day tomorrow and the bowl game to come will only accelerate that progress.
And of course, hopefully it's a little quieter around this time. Last year was such chaos around, the transfer portal, everything like that, with who's playing in a bowl game and who's deciding whether they stay or they leave. I know we already, one player's already announced going, but that was from a, previous situation with it and Tim Thomas. But, is it do you feel like it's going to be a lot less noisy this time around, or do you feel like there's still some potential situations with players as we approach this new transfer window after the bowl game?
Well, I'm glad it doesn't open until after the bowl game, right? I think that's a great move for college football to move that back to January 2nd. Because, the last couple of years, it's just been progressively ridiculous and ridiculouser to take an homage to Lewis Carroll there. But hopefully it's not going to be that crazy. The young man who's in the portal now, he walked away from the team months ago. So that's not a big surprise. That's not a shock. I think there will be other guys who, just know they have a chance of playing somewhere else. There'll be guys that the coaching staff is honest with and says, you don't really fit into our future plans. And, that's the nature of the beast these days. I think if you look at how this staff, which was really new, handled the portal this past year, there's all-conference guys like Jaden Pearson, like Tim Claypool, and what he meant to the defense team. Simeon Harris, Kavion Thunderbird before he got hurt. They had some really quality additions from the portal, which tells you they know what they're looking for, right? That they know what kind of young man, what they're prioritizing. Nobody bats 1,000. So when it comes to the transfer portal this year, they came pretty close to batting 1,000, and that's a good sign for things to come.
I think a lot of people understand there's clear and obvious needs with what this roster will have next year. Of course, replacing a lot of those top players on the defensive side that obviously we know are going to be out for graduation. I think everyone is wondering what the quarterback situation will look next year as well. What do you think the big needs are from this coaching staff as it moves into the offseason?
Well, some of that will be established once you see what else changes with the portal, right? There's bound to be a couple surprises. But, you're losing a veteran kicker in Dylan Lynch, so you're going to have to replace him. You've got some guys who played really well on the offensive line. And, what's that O-line going to look like for next year? And that's foundational, and that's a core to Coach Ensign's philosophy of complementary football, being able to dominate the line of scrimmage in both directions. At linebacker, you're going to need to shore that up. You're losing some guys in the secondary. But I agree, quarterback has to be a huge priority. I think this is not a knock on either of the young men who took reps of that position this year, but with quarterback play comparable to what Fresno State's accustomed to over the years, this is a championship team, a team that would be hosting the championship game this Friday. If they had, say, the kind of quarterback play that we've seen in recent years. If you have a Marcus McMurray, if you have a Jake Hainer, someone that trustworthy, not even to say one of the Carr brothers, right? You have someone that capable, that confident, who fits in the offense. And that's another piece of it, right? You not only have a new quarterback, two new quarterbacks, you have a new coordinator. So that's a big factor. They didn't have that continuity. And we have to understand that. But, better consistency from the offense makes us a championship team in 2025. So you need to have somebody that steps forward, that wins that job and can run with that. EJ's out of eligibility. Mandel's coming off an injury. Conklin had 3 starts. They went 2-1, but, he struggled to throw the football. You've got a talented freshman, we believe, coming in. You've got a couple other guys who are in the program. And, they'd be silly not to be paying attention to the transfer portal. And if someone who fits the culture, fits the mentality, and has that arm talent becomes available, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see that added. So, no, that's a giant priority for next year. And just from a results standpoint, that was an area that could have been a lot better this year.
Certainly. And maybe somebody does something in the bowl game that changes that mindset as well. There's an opportunity there, maybe for one of the quarterbacks, at least on the roster, who still could have that shot. But I want to move to basketball, and I want to move to Selland Arena on Sunday. I know I want to go bigger picture too, but just in general, I know Coach Vance wanted that win, I think, more than any other win this season. And I know it's a tough pill to swallow for him. We were spending time with him after the game, and you did as well. Aside from the disappointment of the result, what do you make of what Sunday was about throughout the day? And then maybe take into the side of maybe the shortcomings of what the basketball team had on Sunday in the result against Bakersfield.
Yeah. So I think big picture, again, and we can never lose sight of the big picture. I think a lot of times the mistakes that are made in any line of work, but especially in college sports over the years, they're made because people lose sight of the big picture. You can get, insulated. You get tunnel vision. You get desensitized to what the common fan, Joe Blow Bulldog fan, knows, feels, experiences. And our community loves basketball. Our community loves Bulldog basketball. What Saturday was about was taking some bellows and blowing some oxygen on some embers of basketball fervor in the Valley. And I thought it was awesome. I mean, it can be a lot better. I mean, that's what I'm excited about, is seeing that grow year after year if the city and the school stay committed to doing that. Because I saw people I hadn't seen in a long time. I saw the excitement. You could feel it in the arena. I mean, you were there, Phil, and your parents grew up going to games at Selland Arena.
Yeah.
I don't know how early your memories go, but I'm just guessing, you hadn't felt that kind of energy at a Bulldog basketball game in a long time.
Not quite. Yeah, it's been a while.
So, and this is not Selland versus Save Mart Center. It never has been. It never will be. It's, hey, we need to engage people. If you're not drawing the kind of crowds that can help your team win games, what are you going to do about it? And creating an opportunity for dozens of alumni to come back and be recognized and celebrated, creating an opportunity for fans to stir that nostalgia, to reconnect with a program that they love, for whatever reason they stepped away. That doesn't matter. What matters is now they're reconnected. That was by far the biggest crowd of the season, by far the loudest crowd of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And I can just see that growing bigger and bigger every year. Maybe you tie it in with a home football game on the day before or the day after. Maybe you play a doubleheader with the women's team or with Fresno Pacific or a high school, championship game of a holiday tournament. There are a lot of different ways you can attack it. But, I saw how excited people were to be there. We did an event with the alumni down at Tioga Sequoia. It was a who's who, not just of Bulldog basketball, but of our community. It was packed, and everybody loved it. They're out there in the cold, and they didn't care because of what, they were experiencing, what they were hearing, the memories it brought back. So I thought it was a phenomenal day for our Valley. Whether the number was 4,400 or 8,000 or 500, whoever was there, you could feel it. It was something different. And I think the point is now bringing some of that back to the Save Mart Center. It's a bummer the Bulldogs don't play at home again until December 30th. So it's going to take a while before they can capitalize. But I've got so many people saying, it was great to see the human tunnel again. We want to see Timeout come out to the William Tell and do a belly flop. And what about the blimp that used to fly around and drop the prizes? Why didn't they talk about all the times Michael Jordan played at Selland Arena? Like all these ideas that people are coming up with. And that's great. That, it's got people brainstorming. It's got people reminiscing. It has people feeling good about Bulldog basketball, even though the game didn't finish the way they wanted to. So to me, just an awesome day for our community and a reminder that when we find ways to bring everybody together, there's really no stopping this city and this valley. So I was fired up and look forward to seeing what it turns into in the future.
Yeah, I certainly do. And I think everyone shares the sentiment. We want to see it again for sure in the future. On the basketball side of things from that performance, it's not indicative of what this team was playing like beforehand to get up to that 6-2 record before that game, 6-3 now. I do think things really changed when DJ Stickman went down with a little hit point, or he tried to get back in, and it really just kind of lost the ability to defend the guy that kind of went crazy down the stretch. Of course, it's tough to lose. It's tough to see you lose to a team that shot 1 for 15 from 3, but could not miss from the free throw line. Outside of it, though, what do you make of the stretch run down there for the Bulldogs in that last 10 minutes of that game on Sunday?
Well, you just hit on a lot of the factors. I mean, there was another little factor, and this is something, I really, let me say this, Phil. Garrett Classy deserves kudos.
Mm-hmm.
because he put this idea out there. That took courage, and the city of Fresno embraced it, and fans responded. And, a lot of people don't have the courage to do an idea like that. So I think one thing, all the people involved, they're making notes right now. One of the notes they're making is, okay, that logo at midcourt can't be slippery because Fresno State lost 2 possessions because of that logo.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a minor detail, but it's a big thing. And they'll take care of stuff like that. If it took too long to get in the parking lot, they're going to address that. And Garrett's shown, over time that he's tuned into those things and he'll take action. So I think that's encouraging to know anything that was a little hiccup this time is going to be better next time. From a basketball standpoint, you're absolutely right. DJ Stickman is a dynamo. He is a game changer. And I've had the same thing that happened to him happen to me playing. You take a knee to your thigh, and all of a sudden you can barely walk, let alone run and jump. And that's what happened to DJ. It's that muscle pain that you just can't get over that fast. It takes time. So I'm hoping he's good to go against Arkansas, because that's probably the matchup Coach Q and I have been most excited to see his athleticism against those SEC bodies.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a difference maker on the glass, on defense, in transition. And if people haven't watched him play yet, you got to come out. And then, you mentioned the Roadrunners only made 1 3, but they only missed 1 free throw. I don't know if I've ever seen that in any of the hundreds of games I've called. If you can shoot free throws that well, usually you're going to make a few threes. And for the Bulldogs, they went ice cold from the perimeter in the second half, right? And they were 1 for 12 from 3. I think 3 or 4 of those were ones that were halfway down and popped out. That's a bummer. But they were good things, right? Their freshman center had maybe his best game, a double-double. He made all of his free throws, and some of those were pressure foul shots late. And Zayon Collins was really, really good in the first half, and the Roadrunners could not keep him out of the paint. And that's a matchup the Bulldogs didn't take advantage of as much in the second half for whatever reason, while Dalen Smith went off the other way. And maybe it took the Dogs too long to adjust to that matchup advantage that Smith was enjoying. But, again, a great atmosphere, a team that is playing better. And I'll say this, they could go to Little Rock and get blown out by 20, but if they come out shooting the ball well, they could be ahead at halftime. And you get in that position, and you're playing with house money, right? I mean, I think that's very possible with the shooters on this team. But it's going to be a real fun challenge, and just looking forward to being there. And again, I'm bummed the fans have to wait till December 30th to catch this team at home again. But there is definitely progress that's being made, and you can tell these guys like each other. The smiles on their faces, how team-oriented they are, as opposed to, 15 guys going in 15 different directions. They really care about each other. They're having fun, and hopefully that makes the rest of us have fun too.
There's engagement on the bench. I was sitting wherever my perspective was, and I know you were on the other side, but there's engagement from a lot of the guys on the bench. Sometimes you don't see that from teams. That sometimes there's a little bit of a 1,000-yard stare from some guys who aren't getting into the game, but outside of it, I think there is engagement with what's going on, what they're talking about. A lot of the assistants getting involved in there as well. It feels like a lively bench. And I don't know if you've noticed that from your perspective.
Without a doubt, right? And you've got a good mix on this coaching staff. I mean, Coach Wahlberg and Coach Welch are just 2 guys who eat, breathe, sleep basketball and can teach just about anything. And Ray Barefield's a guy who I think has had a great rapport with the players. Coach Stahowski the same way. The addition of Tyler Johnson this year, I think, has been tremendous. Mm-hmm. And hats off for Vance to being able to make that a reality. Tyler's young enough. He'd be the best player on the floor if he played in any of the games the Bulldogs have had this year.
I was kind of hoping he had a chance to suit in on Sunday night. I was like, we needed him for the last 2 minutes to get him on.
He would have lit the place up. But, so that gives him credibility and rapport with the players that you just can't manufacture otherwise. And he understands the emotions of the game. He understands matchups. He understands the ebb and flow of a ball game. And he feels it from a fresh perspective that, the older coaches, as much as they know basketball, they're just not quite as relatable to the players as a guy like Tyler is. So I thought that was a phenomenal addition to the staff. You can see that trust developing where Coach Wahlberg relies on Tyler a lot to see things in a game and suggest strategy points. And the other thing, I think Tyler's biggest attribute is his personality and how engaging he is. So, he has a personal relationship with each one of those players, and they know that he cares about them, and he understands some of the emotions they may be feeling during a game and can coach from that standpoint. So I think that's a real credit to him. And I don't say this to take away from any of the other coaches at all. I just think that was a bigger addition that people really realize. A lot of times you add a prominent alum to your staff and people just think it's for show, like it's a figurehead or a facade. I think that's been a real impactful addition, and I can see him being a head coach in college hoops someday.
Could be something for sure. Paul, appreciate it as always with the insight. Of course, you got tomorrow, right? 5:30. Is that what people should be showing up at the Point tomorrow?
Yeah. Now the 5:30 thing, I think, is invitation only for Bulldog Foundation members. But, from 6:30 on, anybody can come. Absolutely. 6:30
at the Point. Meet some of the future Bulldogs, and of course, Coach Entz being there as well. And then we'll be all waiting to see where we're going at the end of December, or middle of December for the bowl game. So it should be interesting where it all turns out. Paul, appreciate it as always, and stay well, my friend.
All right, Phil. Good to see you.
Good to talk to you. All right, Paul Leffler, voice of the Bulldogs here on 1430. We'll take a break. We'll come back, wrap up the hour next on 1430 ESPN.
So winter's officially here, and the last thing you want is your house cold and your furnace sounding like it's auditioning for a beatboxing competition. That's why Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating is running their $99 furnace tune-up special. It's the perfect time, because nobody wants to see their breath inside the house. And let's be honest, layering 3 jackets indoors isn't festive. It's desperate, so get ahead of the cold. Schedule your $99 furnace tune-up today at leesair.com. That's leesair.com. Happy holidays from your locally owned and operated Lee's Air and Heating. CLN 635-355.
When Jeff Thiessen and Lance Duker started Thiessen Duker Modern Wealth Management in 2003, they had a simple mission: to make every life they touch better. They established Thiessen Duker as an independent firm, not tied to the restrictions of one Wall Street company. So their clients could have access to any investment products that were right for them, and Thiessen Duker could serve their clients the way they wanted to be served. They've done other things differently too. From investing in advanced financial planning technology to implementing a team approach with advisors working together to develop client strategies. And from day one, Thiessen Duker has shared its success with local organizations, making a difference in people's lives right here at home. If you need a financial advisor, or if you are a financial advisor and would like to know more about how Thiessen Duker could make your life better, please visit ThiessenDuker.com. The advisors of Thiessen Duker Modern Wealth Management are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Basketball is here at Fresno City College. Come cheer on the Rams, both men's and women's teams, 2 of the top programs in the state, where every game is fast, fierce, and full of heart. Don't miss your chance to see championship-level basketball live at FCC. Want to know where the Rams play next, or check schedules for other sports? Visit FCCRams.com for full fall and winter athletic schedules. Be part of the tradition. Be part of pride. Fresno City College Athletics, where champions compete and fans bring the energy.
Football fans, it's Phil Benotti telling you to bring your tailgate and your holiday cooking to Championship Farm with a trip to your local grocery outlet in Kerman, Sanger, and Fresno Southeast, downtown, and Northwest stores. Hurry into these grocery outlets and stock up now on holiday hams and turkeys, fresh produce, baking essentials, party platters, snacks, and drinks. Everything you need for the big game or the big gathering. That's top quality products at deep discount, money-saving prices. Score big this season at Grocery Outlet, Kerman, Sanger, and Fresno Southeast, downtown, and Northwest stores.
Get your business noticed and stand out from the crowd by visiting Megaprints. Working with the Valley's most prestigious and high-profile businesses since 1998, we print and install custom-designed signs for businesses of all types and sizes. From yard signs to banners to wallpaper and fleet graphics, Megaprints has the state-of-the-art capability to turn the signage you've dreamed of into a reality. Visit megaprints.com today to see our work and what we can do for your business.
Fresno, if you haven't tried Chopped Cheese Bodega yet, you're missing out on serious flavor. Right on the northwest corner of Blackstone and Bullard, next to the 7-Eleven, they're serving up that authentic East Coast chopped cheese the Valley's been talking about. Loaded sandwiches, crispy fries, and house-made sauces that hit just right. This isn't your average deli. Follow at Chopped Cheese Fresno on Instagram to see the full menu. Real meat, real cheese, real good. Chopped Cheese Bodega, Bullard and Blackstone in Fresno. Come taste what everyone's talking about.
KFC's got your back this Thanksgiving with their Cajun deep-fried turkey. Fully cooked and Cajun seasoned, it's ready to reheat at home. More time for family, football, and fun. Pre-order a week in advance at a participating KFC and pick it up in person. Enjoy it a la carte or as part of a family meal or feast with sides like mashed potatoes, gravy, and warm biscuit. Make Thanksgiving extra tasty with KFC's Cajun turkey. Happy Thanksgiving from your locally owned KFC.
All right, welcome back to Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. All right, thank you to Paul Leffler for joining us in the last segment there, talking Fresno State football and basketball. Speaking of football, I will declare that the college football conference championship system is completely broken and distorted and should be blown up. Almost to the point of irrelevancy. Is that a bold take? Because I feel like, what is it? Well, first of all, the ridiculousness of the Mountain West championship situation has arisen. I didn't get a chance to talk about it last show, but I wanted to point this out real quick in terms of it, because let's be honest with ourselves. We're wanting to clamor for more New Mexico State. New Mexico versus San Diego State, I would imagine, if you had a people's choice, or let's say a committee that would vote in conference championships, maybe that would where it would go. Not a eye test of Boise and UNLV that nobody asked for, but apparently except for the computers and bots that wanted to infiltrate the selection of who gets to go to a conference championship. I'm doing the same argument for the ACC championship with Duke just being in there. Just, okay. All right. Nobody asked for Duke to be in a championship, but here we go. Is the championship system broken because of the super conferences and all that stuff? And I'm asking a double-loaded question, so maybe I'll just start. First of all, Mountain West Championship. Ridiculous, right? First of all.
Oh, very ridiculous. You remember the playoff predictor website
that
I showed you?
Yeah.
I was trying to do something right now. They don't even have it as a...
Not even a possibility.
No, they have it as a UNLV versus San Diego State championship.
Yeah, but they don't have the secret computer model that Mountain West used that nobody can barely see. Good riddance, right, of this conference.
Hey, it could be worse, though, because the American Conference uses the highest CFP ranked team to decide their championship.
So what if we just went committees all the way around?
Here's the issue.
Why can't we just have committees selecting all the conference championship?
The issue arises that every single conference has a different set of rules in terms of what they need to do. There's no governing body that looks over all of this stuff, like the NFL.
Yeah.
And
yet it's tied to the champion of getting into the college football bleeping playoff with all of these other arbitrary rules connected. I'm sure that was your point. I'm sorry if I stepped on.
No, totally, because I'm basically trying to say that my issue is that we do not have a single set of rules for every single conference. What happened with the Mountain West Championship, how it was decided, is the same way that the BCS was decided, and I thought we got rid of that. So my whole thing is I think it should just be based off of who wins the most conference games, and the tiebreaker would then just be what? Like
logic?
It
sound logic
like
of head-to-head?
NFL playoff ranking should go, right? It's based off of your division ranking or something, but it's just a whole mess on top of what happened this week with Lane Kiffin and how we've been talking about the whole the transfer portal situation. College football, to me, is in a very weird place right now.
Like, why couldn't the Mountain West be, okay, I'll accept this as a tiebreaker. Let me accept this. Everybody was 6-2 at the top, right? UNLV, New Mexico, San Diego State, and Boise State. I would accept looking at the overall record after that as something that would be an acceptable tiebreaker to determine after that.
Yeah,
UNLV,
but then you get teams that are playing like FCS teams in their non-conference game because of that. That's the issue for that reason.
Oh, okay. So be it.
Okay.
So be it. It's fine.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I'm just like win football games.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I don't know what the type, but it's got to be a universal tiebreaker. We can't just have it to where the Mountain West has a different tie-breaking system than the SEC does. And
then the ACC, then the Big Ten, and then you have teams like Duke that has a chance to backdoor into into a championship conversation because they just happen to take that spot because they happen to be in a set of circumstances that's only determined by the conference itself arbitrarily based off of whatever was voted upon as opposed to anything being uniform in this whole damn thing. It's just another crazy set of circumstances surrounding college football, and God forbid the NCAA just acts like an acting unit, unitary and unilateral decision making.
And that's the thing. The NCAA, people can say, "Oh, the NCAA can do something." In this very moment, the NCAA can't do anything. So I don't know who's going to come out of this and make it to where this is going to be something that they do together.
Yeah. Anyways, crazy stuff. I don't have much more. I'm not watching the Mountain West Championship. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I have no interest.
I haven't watched anything all season.
That's fair, Dan. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back hour number 2 next on 1430.
Attention cannabis lovers, your favorite dispensary, Valley Pure, now has an app. Stay connected with exclusive deals, special promotions, and the best products. All at your fingertips. Don't wait. Download the Valley Pure app today on the Apple Store or Google Play. Claim your rewards when you earn them and start saving by downloading and turning on notifications today. Be sure to visit one of 5 Valley Pure locations around the Central Valley and don't miss out on the best offers. Valley Pure, where quality meets convenience.
That's not as convoluted as Mountain West.
This is Marcus McMurray. As a hometown guy and former Bulldog quarterback, I know how important trust and family are. That's why I choose Ed Dina's Auto Center in Dynevor. From first cars to family SUVs, Ed Dina's helps you find the right fit without the hassle. They treat you like part of the team, because here, you're more than just a customer, you're family. Stop by Ed Dina's Auto Center
you can't
today
schedule
and
at
see
least
why it's my
do the
dealership
overall
of choice.
tiebreaker, but you can't schedule more than one FCS team.
I saw something that was like
Figure it out.
Bulldog basketball is back and heating up the Save Mart Center. Don't miss any of the exciting action as both the men's and women's basketball teams take on the Mountain West this season.
I don't know,
Make sure to bring the whole family to root for your hometown Bulldogs as they compete for that Mountain West championship Fresno would love to bring home. Tickets start as low as $5
I hate it for them, but I
games.
want Ole Miss to
Grab
miss
them
it
at
just to see if they do that.
today, and we'll see you at the biggest party in the valley. Go Dogs!
The Black Friday clearance has been extended. At
Don't be
Fashion
mad at us.
Furniture and Lou Rodman.
Be mad at the
Up to
president the College Football
70%
Committee
savings
said.
at Fashion Furniture with discounts on 100 dining room sets with 24-hour delivery. And don't miss half-price patio furniture at Lou Rodman. Two good friends, two great stores, and 0% financing at both. The Black Friday clearance has been extended.
There was no precedent for Florida State missing without their quarterback.
On El Paso, across from River Park. Don't miss it.
One of the most important keys to success is teamwork. Just like the Bulldogs.
Not a conference champion. Alabama wasn't.
Team of their own. An industry leader in warehouse pallet racking and industrial warehouse shelving. Fresno Rack is truly your full-service one-stop shop. In-house CAD permit department, in-house installation crews, and of course Fresno Rack's sales team is second to none. Whether you're looking to just fine-tune your warehouse and make it more efficient, or you're
They lost to
building a
Texas.
warehouse and need a turnkey from start to finish, Fresno Rack is here to help. Call, click, or visit Fresno Rack today.
Are you a business owner struggling to understand how cloud technology can help your business? Are you in need of computer and technology support for your employees? M-Cubed Technologies is your solution for fully managed IT services. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. M-Cubed will be your partner in the digital world, allowing your business to carry on worry-free. We specialize in cloud hosting, Microsoft 365 management, general IT support, and VoIP phone services. Call M-Cubed Technologies today to discuss our partnerships.
Sports.
Hey, it's Phil Benotti from
Principles. The
As the
committee
weather
will
cools
select
down
the
and the
teams
action
using a
heats up in
process
the
that
sports
distinguishes
world.
among
It also
otherwise
means that
comparable
sometimes
teams
we're
by
you,
considering
more
other
slips,
relative
hits,
factors
and
such as
injuries. Just like in
unavailability of
sports,
key
when
players
life knocks you
and
down, you need a
coaches
strong team
that may have
behind
affected
you.
a team's
Davis and
performances
Wagner,
during the
attorneys
season
at
or likely
law,
will
right here in
affect
Fresno.
its
They
postseason
help
performance.
families recover and win the compensation they deserve. And you don't pay
It's
unless
fine.
they win.
It's
Visit
then a double standard.
DavisVanWagnerLaw.com. Davis and Van Wagner, your hometown injury attorneys.
No, they should be in.
Once
I'm
again,
being.
growers are choosing orange over blue because Kubota means less downtime, easier controls, and better value through the long harvest.
That's what I'm trying to
racing weather,
point
labor,
out
and
here.
time,
But because
uptime
one
matters,
team was in the
and
ACC
Kubota
and
delivers.
another's in the SEC,
turn
we're
to
going to get
Pioneer
that different
Equipment, your
result.
authorized Kubota
Now,
dealer. Tractors and service they depend
now
on.
I'm bringing
With
that up.
Fresno and Reedley locations, Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer, is ready for you this season. Visit Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer today. Online at pioneerequipmentca.com.
Oh, they're doing top 10 kicking fails on
You're
Sports
listening to
Center.
the home of the San Francisco Giants. KFIG Fresno, 1430 ESPN.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm Christine Lisi. Right now on ESPN, coverage underway of the penultimate college football playoff rankings. Some major decisions for the selection committee near the top of the bracket. Texas Tech football coach Joey McIntyre agreed to a new 7-year deal worth an average of $7 million a year. His fifth-ranked Red Raiders poised for one of the best finishes in program history. NFL, 2 days after the Fire Tomlin chants could be heard during the Steelers' home loss, Coach Mike Tomlin did not criticize calls for his job, said he shares fans' frustration and knows the last performance was not up to the standard. Do not expect the team to show Tomlin the door after this season, says ESPN NFL insider
Tomlin back
Adam
next
Schefter.
year.
I just don't see the Pittsburgh Steelers firing Mike Tomlin. He's earned too much respect and accomplished too much to be fired the way
Is that Jared Jones?
coaches are fired after it doesn't work out after a few years.
Ponce Young?
Why would you fire Mike Tomlin? That's not the way that organization's operated ever.
Adam Schefter on Unsportsmanlike. Steelers 2-5 in their last 7. Visit the Ravens Sunday with the AFC North lead up for grabs. Pittsburgh defenseman Derek Harmon.
Dude, Sonny Gray's going to win the Cy Young.
Quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
You talk about how much he hated the Yankees.
Is expected to start.
He's fitting
Steelers
in.
claim former Vikings receiver Adam Thielen.
We're so back. We got Yankee haters on this team. I can't wait. And you got your fake ass Cam Schlittler out there.
College
Oh,
basketball.
Kansas
Kansas
He's
star
like,
guard
you're
Darren
from Boston.
Peterson, hamstring injury out tonight versus 5th-ranked Connecticut, 9 Eastern, ESPN 2. NBA, New Orleans, Zion Williamson out at least 3 weeks with a right abductor injury.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Wednesday, we asked friend of show Mel Kiper Jr. how concerned he is with Jackson Dart's playing style when he joins us at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN 2, and ESPNU.
Look at these guys happy. They're about to hold the Rebels.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on air and talk about how right I am once again. In anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks. But super excited to be here.
Phil Benotti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right. Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. Hour number 2 of our show here. You can get with on the show here, Lee's Air Hotline, 559-320-1430, the way to reach our show. We want to get in on the conversation. Hour number 2 as we get rolling here. Good hour, talking some NFL, but I'll acknowledge there is a college football playoff ranking that's happening. I would assume that we're going to figure that one out as we roll along. And I think we had a somewhat spirited conversation in the break about it. So maybe we want to bring it to air. Tanvir, you wanted to bring something up on the show, just out of the necessity of conversation and content. What do you got for us here?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to ask, what ranking do you think Ole Miss will be when these rankings come?
So what is Ole Miss was sitting at 7, right, or something like that? It was
6.
6.
Yeah.
Well, I said my stance yesterday. I don't know if I totally articulated it the best I could.
They're 7.
They're 7. and I go to the criteria, and I'm literally on the college football playoff website, and I read the criteria as follows, word for word. The committee will select the teams using a process that distinguishes among otherwise comparable teams by considering strength of schedule, head-to-head competition, comparative outcomes of common opponents, in parentheses, without incenting margin of victory, and other relative factors such as unavailability of key players and coaches that may have affected a team's performance during the season or likely will affect its postseason performance. And I pointed this out because I have what I think is ultimately I think would be the wrong decision is to drop Ole Miss down, but because of considering the situation that they're going through with the coaching staff topsy-turvy, all that stuff that's been going on, I would be anticipating that the committee could send a statement here in talking about coaches moving and coaches leaving and what happens to universities if things go a different direction, that I would imagine Ole Miss could drop down to the double digits part of this ranking, to 10 or 11 in that consideration. And then we really have a can of worms open in our hands. And I only cite what we had a couple years ago with Florida State, which I know is a different playoff field. It was 4 teams in that playoff field, but it did leave Florida State out considering over an Alabama team. But in simply talking about the quote, relative factors such as unavailability of key players and coaches that'll likely affect its postseason performance, that has to be in the discussion of the room here for the selection committee and where it sits. We're revealing the rankings now. I think we're at Vandy at 14 now. I don't know if we're going to get to all of it right away at the top of the show, but I have to simply look at the protocol and the criteria here and say that was where they would need to go. But Tanvir, I know you probably disagree with that take, but yeah. I think they need to drop based off of what the criteria has literally on their front page of their website.
No, I totally agree that if this was a scenario where Ole Miss was sitting at the bottom of the rankings, then sure, they would be out. My whole thing is they are sitting 3 spots clear of the cut line, and yes, we do not have precedent of them being or playing a game without their coaches. My thing about Florida State, they played without their quarterback in the ACC championship game. And won. Alabama did win the SEC championship to jump them that year. And so that's my reasoning as to why Florida State was out, and Ole Miss is not going to be out here. And I don't see a reason as to why Ole Miss should be out. Now, will they lose their game when it comes to the first round? Probably, because it is a lot to lose all of those staff members. But to just be eliminated from the entire dance, I disagree with that.
I mean, you're answering the question, though, of them likely being affected by its postseason performance with the absence of coaches. To me, you have admitted that their approach will be affected that way. As we consider to move along here, Miami is ranked at 12. I would assume this is BYU, and it is. I don't know if I'm ahead of you guys. I'm looking.
No, it's BYU.
Yeah, it's BYU. BYU's just got revealed at 11. So this is the spot here where you could see what the committee is thinking about here in terms of what criteria will. Now, they could easily just keep Ole Miss where it is, and that's their decision. But that quite simply goes against what they have talked about in their protocol and their criteria. And to me, I'm just trying to point out the hypocrisy and the showiness of this whole process, which has continued to spur me for the last how many years of this. And I find it all irrelevant, even though we do air this all on our airwaves in late December. Be sure to tune in for all the college football playoff, which you'll be hearing right here on home on 1430 ESPN. Notre Dame just got revealed at number 10 now, so clearly they're going to go against what they have here. But I am just exploring the idea of why now this is different versus why it's different then. I know player directly affects situation as opposed to coaching directly affecting the situation. But both situations are affected by a loss of their football program in some form or fashion. That's what I'm arguing here. You have to project that.
No, you can project that. But my projection would be that Ole Miss would beat anybody that's at that cut line.
Alabama at 9.
Yeah.
So, are you telling me Ole Miss could beat Alabama on a football field?
No, Alabama's not the cut line. What I'm saying is Ole Miss can beat BYU.
Ole Miss can beat BYU?
Without its coaches, yes.
Without its coaches.
They got blasted by Texas Tech 28 to what, 6? 7? Yeah, so this is not I don't know. Ole Miss, I feel like, would still beat BYU, and therefore I don't think they should drop.
What if we see them drop just one spot? Is that an indication? Is that an indication of...
They're not going to drop.
No?
Oklahoma just got 8, so Ole
So
Miss
we just
will be
said
7.
Okay. I'm frustrated. But maybe I'm frustrated because I was vehemently on the Florida State side of getting into the playoff, and maybe that's where my anger comes from in this whole situation. To me. What do we have?
They went up.
They went up.
Because Texas A&M lost to Texas.
Now this is getting ridiculous.
Yep, okay, now I agree with you. I do not think that they should have gone up. I
This
still think A&M
is
would be
patently
ahead of
absurd.
Ole Miss.
This is patently absurd situation now. Now this is completely in the face of what's going on here. And if this isn't discussed on whatever TV program they have here, I think it's a malpractice of high proportions in terms of what is being discussed with this. But then I also said this is all patently absurd because there's just old people in a room that really clearly I don't think watch football in the committee. I may be mischaracterizing it just a little bit, but that's how I feel. And I say, why don't you grab 12 fans from 12 different fan bases, put them in a bar, and make them pick the playoff? I feel like that'd be a better solution than what we got right now.
Yeah, I'm shocked that they went up. I understand Texas A&M did lose to Texas, but Texas was ranked, 13th?
Yep.
And that's still a solid team. So them being ranked below or ahead of A&M, I totally disagree with. My whole argument was I don't think that they should be just completely out of the college football playoff rankings. But instead they've somehow topped one of the teams that were perennially in the top 3 this year.
Hold up. So
what are we figuring out, Daniel? What are we figuring out?
we're looking at the bracket.
Okay.
So yeah, so
I'm about to see it on here. Yeah, you're gonna have one of the ACC champs, right? Virginia, and then you're gonna have like North Texas or whoever.
It would be North Texas, James Madison, or Tulane playing Oregon most likely, and it will be Virginia or Duke playing Ole Miss.
I would argue that if Duke wins, they don't make the playoffs still.
I think the Duke wins, they're an ACC champ.
Duke, if they win,
well, okay, you could go to the American champ, and you could go
and make them 11.
Somebody else. You could make JMU 12. Yeah,
right.
Wouldn't that be insane?
Would be crazy now that I think about it.
It would be crazy, but it's a possibility.
It's the top 5 conference champs, not the power.
But would JMU and North Texas each have a top 25 win this year?
Yeah, well, Tulane is 24th right now.
Is Tulane 24th?
Yeah.
Where's North? I thought North Texas.
North Texas is not ranked. I don't
okay.
Tulane's 20th.
Or 20th, yeah.
Yeah, Tulane's 20th.
So
we didn't see the first part.
But has North Texas had a top 20 win this year?
No.
Okay. Was JMU had a top 20 win this year?
No.
But Duke would have a top 20 win this year if they beat Virginia.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that enough for them to jump at 8-5?
That's on them to decide.
Over whatever North Texas's record is and whatever JMU's record is. Is that enough?
I mean, if a 3-loss team can't even make the playoffs, then what makes us think that a 5-loss team can make the playoffs?
Yeah.
It'd be a shocker if Duke were to win and then.
What is your chaos like? I want to root for all of the chaos.
Chaos.
Like BYU wins.
Bama loses.
BYU wins the Big 12.
Yeah, BYU wins the Big 12 over Texas Tech. That would basically push Bama out of the top 10. That would be Bama's, or actually it would push Notre Dame out of the top 10, which would be crazy. I don't know. I guess, nightmare scenario. I'll say this. It would be Alabama loses to Georgia. Notre Dame doesn't have a conference championship. And then you would have BYU beat Texas Tech at that point, and Duke beats Virginia, JMU and Tulane both win, and both of them get it. That would be the craziness scenario, in my opinion.
According to ESPN Analytics, I got it here in front of me. If BYU won and Alabama lost, BYU would be in as a conference champ. Notre Dame would then be in at 93%. Miami at 6%.
Yeah, that's the whole argument now with the conference championships. Would Alabama, because they currently have Bama ahead of Notre Dame, would Bama losing a conference championship hurt them to drop them below Notre Dame? This is, I mean, yes, the craziness is what we hate about college sports or college football, but also it's what makes
Play
it
this out in my mind. What if Ole Miss was in this SEC championship and lost 63-3 to Georgia, but they're a 2-loss conference champion team, and we clearly know they're not as good as they were without the coaching staff? Are they in?
From the 6, I think they would drop all the way to like 10, probably.
Would you still think they'd be in? You would still think they'd be in?
Because they made the SEC championship.
Like if they did what Florida State did against Georgia in that Orange Bowl, which was I think 63 to whatever it was. I know clearly everybody transferred and all the other BS that happened around that game, so it's not a clear equivalent. But I think there would be an interesting thought process there with that whole thing. But man, but this is also, it's just also dumb to me. It's just also dumb to me. I just don't. I just want to watch the games play. I think when the games get going, I really enjoy the playoff when it is in, like when it's playing out and when it's in its own process. But this whole preamble stuff is just stuff that makes my head like want to stick my face in a blender. And when it comes to that, yeah. What do you got?
They were just showing the comparison between JMU and Duke.
Strength of schedule, JMU down on that. Strength of, what is that? What is SOR?
Strength of record.
Oh. I think JMU's got to be in over Duke. Certainly got to be in over Duke.
It is going to be a wild week 15. That's all I'll say.
So, Boise has a 0.5 chance. You see that?
Yeah, well, Boise shouldn't even be in the Mountain West Championship. So,
my argument would be that.
What if UNLV wins the Mountain West?
I was
11-2, UNLV, JMU loses. You got North Texas winning. Duke wins. What do we got? What are we doing there?
I was going to say this. Is this at a point in time where the Army-Navy game affects Navy when it's...
Navy's not in.
No, but I'm saying because they're a 9-2 team. They played one less game than everybody else.
You're stumping for Navy again, and unfortunately,
I'm gonna stump for
the
Navy.
College Football Committee does not appreciate our armed service.
Yeah, we've gone all the way to the wrong side.
Yeah, we're not. This is not the Daniel. I love the Navy. My father served in the Navy. I'm not stumping for Navy in this football program when it comes to everything like that. Man, I don't know. I want chaos. I always do. I think we almost had it last year we almost had it, right, when it came to the conference champions?
Yeah, because Clemson beat SMU, but SMU still made it. That was kind of like the big one.
And they snubbed Bama. Bama got snubbed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the big one. So, I hang on to that Bama loss at Florida State. I know it's a different time of place with September and what it was. It was hot and whatever it was, but I don't know. I just feel like it all should matter. But teams show improvement throughout the year. I guess that matters in terms of it.
You can make any argument, and you would have a point. It's just based off of, like, what the committee thinks. And I don't know if the committee is all right in the head sometimes, especially with this decision to move Ole Miss up. But, again, like, you can make the idea that Miami should be ahead of Notre Dame because Miami won the head-to-head. It's a lot of variables that go into this. And for what I'll say is they got the top 6 right, or top 5 right, I should say. I think Texas A&M should still be at the 6th spot. But this is something that we're going to talk about. It's not going to have any effect at the end of the day.
Is the most relevant game the Big Ten championship?
Yeah, I would imagine because both of them are in.
Like, are you at any sort of interest? Are they going to mail in that? It feels like they're going to mail in that game, both sides.
I think they won't because I think the winner is going to clearly get the 1 seed, and I think that's a point of contention. But
my question is,
but if
one of them takes a real bad loss,
they're not going to.
You can't make it. Like 45-3, Ohio State beats Indiana. There's no chance.
Indiana will still be in.
Yeah.
No,
I'm saying
they, the top 4.
No, they won't drop out the top 4. I wouldn't imagine that. But the problem with Ohio State and Indiana is isn't the 1 seed supposed to be regionalized as far as where the bowl game is? And I don't believe there is a big time bowl anywhere near them in terms of where they are supposed to go for the quarterfinals, other than I don't know. What's the bracket shaping up as regionality? I mean, clearly the championship's in Miami. I know that. I know the Cotton Bowl is one of the quarterfinals. I don't know.
The Rose Bowl is also a quarterfinal.
Rose Bowl. I think Rose Bowl is always going to be a quarterfinal because they always want it on the first.
They rotate, so Rose Bowl will eventually be a semifinal match.
That'll be sad. That'll be sad.
That will be sad
when we don't get a Rose Bowl on the 1st of January. That's just like a crime against humanity. You got Orange Bowl. We're going to play Orange Bowl.
So the semifinals this year will be in the Fiesta Bowl, which is in Arizona.
Yeah.
And the Peach Bowl, which is in Atlanta.
Georgia.
Yeah. And so the quarterfinals will be Cotton Bowl, which is in Dallas.
Yep.
Orange Bowl, which is Miami.
Yep.
And then Rose Bowl, obviously L.A.
Yep.
And Sugar Bowl, which is New Orleans. So
yeah.
It's tough for either of those big
So
games.
there's really no incentive to try to win it because you're going to regionalize where? You want to go to the Rose Bowl, I guess? I think they'll put one of them there if you win it. But I don't know. It's all strange. I find that game, I don't know if I'm interested in at all in watching Ohio State and Indiana. I don't think I'm going to learn anything when I watch Ohio State and Indiana.
Besides draft prospects, I don't really
care. I really don't. People are going crazy. Like, wow, how is College Game Day not going to the number 1 versus number 2 team in the nation? I say, look at the relevancy of games. Clearly, the Alabama game and the Georgia game is going to mean a whole lot more to the grand picture of it. That's more interesting to me than whatever happens there. I get it. I don't know why people are getting crazy about game day not going to Indiana, Ohio State. Yeah, people got to grovel somewhere. All right,
touch some grass.
All right, we're going to do that next, and we're going to talk about the Benotti Blitz. We're going to rank the games next on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
Hey, it's Phil Benotti from Behind the Bench for my friends at Valley Athletics, the new go-to sports facility in the Central Valley. Founded by Valley legend Vance Wahlberg and former Bulldog volleyball coach Jonathan Winder. Valley Athletics allows athletes to really shine at volleyball, basketball, and pickleball. Visit valleyathletics.co right now to learn more about enrolling in our current volleyball and basketball offerings that include league play. That's valleyathletics.co. Proud sponsors of high school athletics.
Get ready for the ultimate Monday Night Showdown, only at Chichancy Gold. Starting September 8th through December 29th, win your share of $80,000 in giveaways, including $51,000 in e-cash. Earn entries all day Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Then join us for drawings every Monday from 5 to 8 p.m. Swipe your rewards card during the game inside Firehouse Lounge for a free entry into over $28,000 in prizes, including football gear and more. Game day starts here at Chichancy Gold.
Craving big flavor? Head to Me and Ed's Victory Grill in Fresno. Bite into the legendary Victory Burger. Dig into the fall-off-the-bone ribs. Or share the ultimate victory platter with friends. From those legendary Me and Ed's pizzas to fresh salads, cold drinks, and a warm hometown vibe. Every bite and sip is a win. Watch the game, catch up with friends, or bring the family. Me and Ed's Victory Grill in Granite.
The college football committee said Lane Kiffin was dragging him down.
Come hungry, leave a champion. Taste better.
It's football season and your headquarters for game day cues at the sports station. Check out the
we didn't get to talk to your Steelers. I guess we'll do that Thursday.
Inside Fashion Fair Mall. From official NFL jerseys,
no one cares about your
accessories for the 49ers, Cowboys, Raiders, and Rams to Fresno State apparel that shows your hometown pride. The sports station has it all. Whether you're cheering on the pros or repping the dogs, get the licensed merchandise you need to look game ready. Gear up now at the sports station next to Women's Macy's inside
I don't even know I did it.
Fair Mall.
I didn't even know I did
The
it.
sound of bees means lots of blooms, and lots of blooms means a profitable crop year. But those delicate blooms can easily be destroyed by adverse weather conditions, which in turn can be devastating to your crop investment. Now is the time to secure multi-peril crop insurance, which covers your almond crop during bloom. Bowman and Associates, your local crop insurance specialist, has been writing crop insurance for almost 40 years. Bowman and Associates is one of the largest crop insurance agencies in the state and nation. Call Roger Kent or Quinn Bowman today and ask about their multi-peril crop insurance for almonds. Bowman and Associates can design a policy with protection based on your own production experience. Ask about the new Price Option Plus, which increases the insurance price per pound to make it closer to the market price of almonds. Deadline for multi-peril coverage is December 31st. Call Bowman and Associates at 499-2020. That's 499-2020. California Department of Insurance license number 0F64178.
Bowman and Associates.
Insurance specialists.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
All right, welcome back to Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. Hour number 2, and we're right in the middle of that hour here. And, of course, it's a good time to talk NFL. And we got another one of those great Benotti Blitzes, which is how we rank the games for Week 14. Benotti Blitz brought to you by Grocery Outlet. Visit your local grocery outlet for all your holiday special needs for this December month. A lot of good deals out there, so be sure to stop by a local grocery outlet, Northwest Fresno, Southeast Fresno, Downtown Fresno, and the Kerman and Sanger stores. Be sure to swing by then. All right, we ready for another Benotti Blitz? The final week with buys. Week 14. Tanvir, are you ready to rank the games?
Yeah, both of our teams have a bye, so we can just sit back, relax, and watch some football.
It's great. It's great.
So,
I can't wait. Let's talk about it. Let's rank the games right now. Week 14. Playoffs implications. Some people say the season starts after Thanksgiving, and we begin with the worst game of the week. And we go to Cleveland for the Browns and the Titans in a matchup between futility and teams that continue to confound us in their decision-making and their roster decisions and literally the decisions on the football field. I would be amazed to see how this game will be turned out. Maybe there is almost a sicko level of how two bad teams meet each other, and suddenly you may see something you've never seen in football this week. But Browns-Titans, no implications here. Playoff-wise, it sits here at the bottom for me.
I think I'm going to switch it up this time, and I'll just do my ranking as well. Funny thing is, I also have the Browns and the Titans at the last place. I think this is going to be the most boring game of the year. I don't see any playoff implications here whatsoever. Now, there are draft implications, so if they want to fight to lose for that would be fun. But otherwise, yeah, nothing to watch in this game.
It will be 41-36. That will be the final.
Yes.
And we'll just deal with that.
Exactly.
Next up, Raiders and Broncos in Las Vegas. The Broncos, once again, continue to love to play down to their opponent. Does anyone remember the last time these two teams played? I don't, because I don't want to remember. 10-7, my goodness, on Thursday Night Football. I don't know if we get much different here in terms of both teams. The Raiders are borderline unwatchable, if not completely unbearable to deal with. And the Broncos just love to play in the muck with the teams they play with. And they're going to be 10-2, soon to be 11-2. They'll tie the Patriots, I would imagine. But I don't find anything appealing about this game on Sunday.
Yeah, Broncos and Raiders last time was pretty terrible. And I have this slightly higher, like 2 steps above. But I think this is, again, with the 1 seed on the line, the Broncos need to win this game. The Vegas Raiders obviously just futile with the changes in their offensive staff, so this will be a blowout in my opinion. But Brock Bowers had a pretty good catch last week.
Hey, there you go. Take that. Next up, how about futile? The Vikings taking on the Commanders against two teams that I think were very fun to watch last year, are no longer fun to watch this year. Hey, J.J. McCarthy suddenly got better from that concussion,
after Max Brosmer did what he did on a football field in Seattle. The Vikings just trying to find any sort of anything to feel good about moving forward in this season. The Commanders, hey, I'll give them credit. Marcus Mariota is, I would say, a plus backup quarterback in this National Football League. There are some things that you would be interested in seeing. I know Jane Daniels is getting closer to getting healthy. I wouldn't imagine he's in this game yet, but not much offering in terms of playoff positioning. I think this sits right here for me.
Yeah, the Commanders churned out a really impressive, fun game on Sunday Night Football when we thought it was going to be absolutely terrible. But on the flip side, it doesn't matter who's starting for the Vikings, whether it's Max Brosmer or J.J. McCarthy, Brett Favre, or even Fran Tarkenton was playing for this team. They would not be fun to watch. So this is my second worst game of the week.
Next up, Jets and Dolphins. Don't look now. The Jets have won 3 of 5 after an exciting ending to that Falcons game. I say that tongue-in-cheek as both teams just wanted the other team to beat them. The Dolphins, don't look now, 5-7, and things are getting a little interesting in Miami for some people. I have a particular Miami fan in my life right now in the office who is hating every moment of these win streak for it. But let's see what happens in this divisional game. I know it was an interesting, not so interesting Monday night game earlier this year when both of these teams played, but I'm here for the tortured Miami experience, and maybe there's some interest there in seeing them potentially pull off a victory.
Yeah, don't look now, but the Dolphins are 1 game behind the Kansas City Chiefs, and if they win and the Chiefs lose on Sunday Night Football, they will be tied, and that was not something that was on my bingo card to start the year. I have this at the 5th lowest, slightly above, but I don't see anything that is going to be good in this game. I mean, besides the guys like Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane, Garrett Wilson's still not back. I don't think he'll probably be back for the whole year. So I'm not going to have fun watching this game. Even though the Falcons-Jets game last week went to overtime, I still did not care about that game, did not have fun with it. So maybe they'll impress me, but I don't think this will be good.
Next up, speaking of those Falcons, those Atlanta Falcons are trying to navigate a season with Kirk Cousins, who has continued to just play worse and worse football. And guess what? He gets the buzzsaw of Seattle and that defense who really showed up against Minnesota last week. And I would say in the entertainment factor of it, Seattle's offense, hey, I think they did face a tough defense last week against Minnesota, so I'm not going to give them any sort of bad credit to what they did. A little bit of a quiet game from JSN for the first time this year. In terms of it, I think they want to get back into their offensive ways. I'm curious to see that from Seattle, so I'm paying attention to this game a little bit more, but I'd imagine this will get ugly a little bit as well.
Yeah, you're going to give them leeway. I will not give them leeway. You played the Tennessee Titans and the Minnesota Vikings at home, mind you, close. I think those are 2 pretty bad performances, even though they shut out the Vikings. Their offense needs to start getting going again. I think this will be a bounce-back game, so I think this will be a game where there will be points galore, but I also have this in the bottom half as well.
Next up, Bucks and Saints in Tampa. Did anyone else have fun watching Tyler Shook this past week try to navigate a comeback against Miami? I thought it was an all right performance from a quarterback that I don't think has any future in this National Football League. But, the Saints give it an honest try every week. I do think they do that. But that almost is condescending for me for saying that about a National Football League team in this league against a team that is desperately trying not to give this division away to their rivals in Carolina. Bucks need this game. They really do. They really would like to have this game on Sunday. So imagine there's going to be a little bit of pressure on both sides of the ball here. Should be fascinating, slightly fascinating in Tampa.
Yeah, Bucks, they had a big win against Arizona with Bucky Irving coming back, and he looked pretty good. Chris Godwin was also back. He dropped an easy touchdown pass, which was weird for me, but I think he'll get back into the groove of things. I think the Buccaneers will run away with this game, even though they have been playing a couple of close games over the last couple of weeks. I have this third from the bottom because I think this will be a blowout. But yeah, as you said, the Saints have the opportunity to make this a better game than I think it will be.
Next up, Cardinals and Rams in Arizona. The Cardinals, they are so weird with the way they played football this year, continuing to be in close games with good football teams. And they take on the Rams, who this is the first time they match up this year, so it's an interesting look at what these two teams will do in the division. The Rams, last time they were here, yikes, one of the worst losses in McVay's career, I would imagine. So they would like to fix that in terms of it. I think this Rams offense certainly not the performance they wanted out of Carolina. The defense has to shore things up as well. I think there's some trickiness in this game for the Rams. They want to get back to being considered the best team in the National Football League. And so I look for them to bounce back potentially in this one. So fascinating factors in a division matchup in the desert.
Am I a sicko for putting this at 6?
Ooh.
I have this slightly high. Like, I just think that the Cardinals churn out good games regardless of who they're playing. The Rams are sitting in a position where they're only half a game ahead of the San Francisco 49ers, and they have the tiebreaker over the Seattle Seahawks. So I think every game for the Rams, Niners, and Seahawks from this point on will be pretty high on my list because those will all be high impact games for the rest of the season. So I have this at number 6. I think the Rams should win this game, and maybe they can run away with it, but we saw in the loss against the Panthers on the road that, you know, everything wasn't clicking if the pass rush can get to them.
Next up, and now this is where we hit a clear line of, to me, games that really are impacted on both sides of the ball, and I'll start with the Ravens and the Steelers in Baltimore, simply because I don't know if anybody wants to win this AFC North, and so to me, this is just simply a battle of futility between two teams that are desperately trying to allow the Bengals to have a hope. And so I don't know if I'm going to see good football in this matchup. The Steelers have been just futile over the last few weeks when it comes to scoring and moving the football. The Ravens, don't even get me started there with what they did on Thanksgiving. Thank God they had a couple days to figure it out, a little bit extra, but I don't know if I see anything good coming out of this game outside of the idea of it being a playoff matchup. I have it just simply that high because at least I need something to be told to me about these two teams when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah, both of these teams are in must-win situations. I have this at number 8, so slightly below the halfway point. I just think both of these teams in the last couple of weeks have been playing a very boring brand of football, and I'm just not going to be entertained by that, even though the stakes are really high. And we'll see if Aaron Rodgers, after getting battered over the last 3 weeks, will, you know, play up to the standard that he was at the start of this season. But the Ravens are reeling. The Steelers are reeling. I think it's them trying to give each other the division, as you said, and I think this will be indicative of that by being a low-scoring defensive type of game.
Next up, Monday Night Football. I have the Chargers and the Eagles here. I just do not have fun watching the Eagles play football. I think many of their fans can share the same sentiment. And these are two teams that I think have shown their struggles of late in terms of their ability to score the football. You know, the Chargers at least getting a nice palate cleanser when they faced the Raiders this past week, but outside of it, I haven't been impressed with the LA Chargers in quite some time. So them getting Philly, it's two teams that would really like to get a win to change things around and change the course a little bit. Two teams that need it for their playoff positioning, and I think some confidence building on either side of the football.
Yeah, I have this right in the middle at number 7. I think the Chargers getting Amari and Hampton back will be big. Too late for my fantasy team because I got eliminated this week. That's a story for another time. But the Eagles also play a very their brand of football is just very boring. I feel like this is a team that on paper should look so good on offense like they did last season, but it's just not connecting this year. And so I think this will be, again, another defensive matchups. I have this at number 7. And even though this is a game that doesn't include the 49ers, I may go to this game because this was the one game that I was like, if this is a non-49ers game I'm going to go to, it'll be this one.
Hey, there you go. Down in L.A. We like it. Top 5 next up. Jags and Colts cracks my top 5. And, you know, everybody's been kind of throwing away the Jaguars as a team that is just one that I think people feel like is a clear third spot in this AFC North or AFC South, but I see it differently. The Colts have really not been themselves the last month now as a football team, and I think there's a lot of prove it here from both sides in order for them to consider themselves the top of this division, with the Texans coming on strong here down the stretch of the season. You're going to feel the playoff feel of this football game in Jacksonville, where the Colts have historically struggled quite a bit over the last 10 years. It is hard for them to win down there. The Jaguars could define their season with a win like this if they get it. I think it's a fascinating matchup between two teams that are desperate for a victory to maintain that lead. So give me Jacksonville and Indy here at number 5.
Jacksonville is on a 3-game winning streak, and the Indianapolis Colts, I should say, have lost 3 of their last 4. So these are two teams trending in opposite directions. Both of these teams have now met at the middle point to where they need to win their game. Yes, the Colts will face the Jaguars again in the second to last week of the season, but you want to put a stamp on this AFC South like we thought you were at the start of this year. You got to win this game. Jonathan Taylor needs to start ramping it back up again. I feel like he's been okay, but he hasn't been elite like he was in the first 10 weeks of the season. So this will be my number 5 game as well.
Number 4, Bills and Bengals in Buffalo. Boy, are we going to start believing in Joe Burrow? I mean, the way he's playing, he looks like it makes it look easy, what he did against Baltimore. It's a fascinating storyline developing with Cincy that just looks absolutely, completely different as a team with the quarterback, and make no mistake about it. Even their defense showed up a little bit last week. Maybe there's some confidence there. Buffalo is a dangerous team, of course, with the way they run the football, and I would imagine Cincy could have some troubles with that. If Cincy wants to pull off the miracle and win the division, it begins here. I'd imagine this has a playoff feel between two spectacular quarterbacks that we know in the National Football League.
Yeah, this is giving me vibes to that divisional round game we got. I think it was 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago now.
When Burrow beat them?
Yes, when Burrow beat the Bills in the snow. That was a whole alliteration right there. But yeah, I have this at number 3. I think the Burrow-led Bengals were very impressive in their game on Thanksgiving against the Baltimore Ravens, and I think they can ride that momentum. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, but they're going to try their hardest, and that's going to make some very entertaining games. I think T. Higgins may be back for this game, so T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow all back. I think this is going to be a very fun game.
Bills defense could be in some trouble here.
Oh, they're getting smoked on the ground game. If Chase Brown does anything.
anything. Next up, number 3. Packers and Bears in Green Bay. I may have started to see things turn a little bit differently for this Packers team with the way they played on Thanksgiving. I know the Lions have their struggles, but I think the Packers had their best win of the year against Detroit. Actually, it's been really both of their wins against Detroit that have been the best games this year for them. But now here comes Chicago coming into Lambeau Field for a battle that we were asking to prove it. Asked to prove it for the Bears. Keep proving it. And they certainly did on Black Friday. Now how do you back it up with another win? Bears have been red hot in terms of being a top team in the NFC. And I would imagine this game goes very, very far in terms of determining the NFC North champ.
Yeah, I mean, I could just talk about how many stars this game has, but I just want to talk about what this game means for both of these teams. Chicago is currently sitting at the 1 seed. If they were to lose this game, they would drop all the way down to the 7. If Chicago were to win, they would solidify their spot as the 1 seed, and the Packers would probably be only half a game ahead of the Dallas Cowboys or the Detroit Lions, depending on who wins that game. So a lot of things that can happen in this game that makes the playoffs very interesting. And for the San Francisco 49ers, the loser of this game will drop below them. So big game for me, big game for Packers fans, big game for Bears fans.
Next up, Sunday Night Football, the Chiefs and the Texans in Kansas City. You just wonder and you just continue to marvel at the potential downfall of what Kansas City is seeing here after their loss on Thanksgiving, sitting at 6-6, and now they're a cornered animal taking on one of the toughest defenses in the National Football League. I have enjoyed watching Houston Texans football the last 6 or 7 weeks now. I will safely admit that, even with Davis Mills at quarterback and now C.J. Stroud back in and getting a very key victory over the Indianapolis Colts. This Texans team scares me, even, I would say, for a lot of teams in the AFC. I think they can beat you in many different ways with the way they play defense, and we could see the death of Kansas City's playoff hopes right here on national TV on Sunday, and that is fascinating enough for me to put it at number 2.
Yeah, two different quotes that happened this week for both of these teams. I'm going to start with the weirder one where Andy Reid was talking about how we're going to tickle your tonsils for the last 6 weeks of the season, which is the weirdest thing I've ever heard him say. I don't know what that means, but okay. And then the actual good one was C.J. Stroud talking about how Davis Mills him being out and watching Davis Mills really showed him that he doesn't need to really go down the field all that often. You can trust your receivers and give them the ball early and then have them play make for you. And so I think that's really changed the mindset of what CJ Stroud is going to be. This Texas defense, we've already said, is one of the best. And the Kansas City Chiefs, they're holding on for dear life now. Both of these teams need this win. I think the Houston Texans are one of the most dangerous teams going right now. They have a 4-game winning streak against Jacksonville, Tennessee, Buffalo, and Indianapolis. Those are three out of 4 of those are very impressive wins. So big game. I have this at number 4. I don't know if I said this. I had the Bears Packers at number 2.
I don't want the Patriots to play the Texans. That's where I'm at right now in my mind.
Yeah.
So, and our final number 1 game of the week, Thursday Night Football. We're putting the Lions, we're putting the Cowboys in there on Thursday.
Yes,
Give me this football game right now. It's 2 fascinating storylines, 2 teams that are certainly moving in opposite directions as their season progresses. The Lions, who we thought could be the number 1 team in the NFL, has really fallen off of late, and now maybe no Amon-Ra St. Brown. We're going to be really testing what this offense can do against what Dallas has, I've been seeing, a much more improved defensive side the last couple of weeks. Dak Prescott has played out of his mind, I've been saying all year, in this situation. And what can Detroit do to stop him? I don't know what can be said between it, but it's 2 backed-up teams needing a win to at least keep their playoff hopes alive. I find this fascinating. The Cowboys are very entertaining to watch. The Lions will scratch and claw and keep themselves in this football game in Detroit. A lot of anxiety, a lot of fun on a Thursday night.
This whole game is going to be about how the Lions can answer the questions about their defense. Terrion Arnold is now on IR. And for a team that plays a lot of man-to-man with second-string corners, you're not going to be able to stop George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. So it's going to be on the defensive staff of the Detroit Lions to get some answers on how to stop these guys. No Sam Laporta, no Amon-Ra St. Brown, which makes me a little sad because I think this genuinely could have been like a 45-42 type game if both of those guys were in there. But again, yeah, big game. Both of these teams chasing for that 7 seed. Cowboys may be chasing for the division crown. I am so ready for this game. This is my number 1 game of the week as well.
And that's your Benotti Blitz, brought to you by Grocery Outlet. All right, let's take a break. Let's wrap up the second hour next on 1430 ESPN.
Basketball is here at Fresno City College. Come cheer on the Rams, both men's and women's teams, 2 of the top programs in the state, where every game is fast, fierce, and full of heart. Don't miss your chance to see championship-level basketball live at FCC. Want to know where the Rams play next? Or check schedules for other sports? Visit FCCRams.com for full fall and winter athletic schedules. Be part of the tradition. Be part of pride. Fresno City College Athletics, where champions compete and fans bring the energy.
Are you tired of waiting forever for your prescriptions? Grizzly Pharmacy is here to tame your healthcare needs. We fill most prescriptions in 15 minutes or less, always accepting new patients, and enjoy free delivery to your home or workplace in Fresno and Clovis. We accept all major insurance, including Medi-Cal, Blue Cross, and Optum Rx. For our Fresno location, please call 559-424-0423 or visit grizzlypharmacy.com for more information.
Back the birds, Fresno. Don't miss another week of Fresno Pacific University Sunbirds action at the Special Event Center.
Dribbling with the left hand. She's going to fire another 3. That one good as well. 3 straight threes on 3 straight possessions.
All games are just $10 for fans 18 and older. 17 and under get in free. Back the birds, Fresno. Catch both men's and women's basketball before the season wraps up. Don't miss the excitement. For schedule and ticket information, visit fpuathletics.com today. See you there.
So winter's officially here, and the last thing you want is your house cold and your furnace sounding like it's auditioning for a beatboxing competition. That's why Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating is running their $99 furnace tune-up special. It's the perfect time because nobody wants to see their breath inside the house. And let's be honest, layering 3 jackets indoors isn't festive. It's desperate. So get ahead of the cold. Schedule your $99 furnace tune-up today at leesair.com. That's leesair.com. Happy holidays from your locally owned and operated Lee's Air and Heating. CLN 635-355.
Now that you've gathered all your landscaping ideas at the Fall Home Show, swing by Clovis Stone Masonry and Landscape Supply to bring them to life. Hey contractors and DIYers, Paul Metters here. Clovis Stone is the Valley's go-to playmaker with 6 acres of premium materials ready to roll. Whether you're building big or dialing in the details, Clovis Stone has what you need when you need it. With 24-hour delivery, fast, call-ahead pickup, you can stay on schedule and on budget. Step on the lot today off Sunnyside in Old Town Clovis or online at clovisstone.net.
Want to work somewhere fun, flexible, and rewarding? Me and Ed's is hiring. We're looking to expand our team with full and part-time positions at over 40 locations. Join our growing company as a delivery driver or valued team member today. For more information on job descriptions or to apply, go online at meandeds.com or visit your nearest location. Me and Ed's is hiring. Fill out an application.
We started like you, a small team with a big dream to serve the Valley. 20 years later, FFB Bank is still proudly backing businesses across California and beyond. We've learned a lot about what it takes to grow, and now we're using that experience to make things easier for you. With our Switch and Save offer, we'll cover up to 90 days of payment processing, provide no-cost equipment, and offer competitive rates so your business can keep more of what it earns. And behind it all is a local team that truly understands your goals and is ready to help you reach them. Make the switch. Save with FFB. Visit ffb.bank to get started. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
.1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. I got a fresh schedule for everyone, so I'm going to take this time to give it to y'all before we get into our third hour here. But as you can hear, I have the schedule right in front of me. And, of course, tonight, no play-by-play, nothing. We got ESPN for you, ESPN programming. So if you want to listen to all that great stuff, we got it for you. Tomorrow, we'll have the FPU Sunbird Sports Show on 790. It'll be 6 p.m. Paul Metters, once again, hosting the Sunbird Sports Show, as he always does. Great job with him there. Thursday, we'll be back. Sportsline Bulldog Hour, Tony D, 2 to 3. We'll have my show from 3 to 5, live at Fashion Furniture, before we send it out to Detroit for Cowboys and Lions. Thursday night football, 5 p.m. And we'll have, on 790, we'll have the Lakers live from Toronto as they take on the Raptors, 4:15 pre with a 4:30 tip-off from Toronto there. Friday, we'll have Behind the Bench for 40 minutes. Yes, 3 o'clock to 3:45 as the Lakers will take on the Boston Celtics in Boston, which means it'll preempt my show starting at 3:45. So we'll just have a little 40-minute show hangout on Friday. Should be fun. Over on 790, you'll have Sharks hockey as they are starting a long road trip. They take on the Stars in Dallas, 4:30 pre with a 5 p.m. puck drop there. On Saturday, you have the Central Valley Sports Report. Paul Metters, 10 a.m. to noon on 1430. Then following him at 12:30, coverage of the SEC Championship. Georgia, Alabama will be on 1430. I do believe that kickoff is 1:30, if I'm not mistaken, from Atlanta. And then we'll over on 790, we'll have a doubleheader. Hey, FPU men's and women's basketball is back. 2 p.m. Doubleheader start time. The women will begin, and then at 4:15 you'll have the men over there as well over on 790. So doubleheader there. Sunday, this is your slate of football. We'll put the Raiders on 14:30 on Sunday. It's going to be a 12:30 pregame with a 105 kick, against Denver. And then over on 790, you'll have the Rams and the Cardinals pregaming at 12:30 with a 125 kick from Arizona. And then over on 14:30, Sunday Night Football, Texans and Chiefs, 5 p.m. Kickoff there. Then we'll have our Monday back at it again. 2 hours of show. Sports on Bulldog with Tony D from 2 to 3. My show from 3 to 5 before we send it off to Monday Night Football, where Tanvir will be boots on the ground for Eagles and Chargers, I'm sure. So looking forward to that. That'll be our schedule moving forward. I'll tell you what, it's kind of forecasting the schedule for the next month here, and we are going to be limited to the tail end of this month. So I looked at it. I may only have like 2 shows after the 22nd, considering
the Christmas special.
Yeah, we'll do some Christmassy stuff. Maybe some. I do believe I have an hour and a half on Christmas Eve before we send it to Hawaii for the Hawaii Bowl, and then I'm off and running for the holidays for a little bit.
Yeah, we got to do some sort of list.
Yeah,
we got to rank the.
Do we got to check it twice?
Yeah, something
like that as well. Hey, I can't wait to bring in Asa here on the show. We got a lot to talk about with him. Looking at potential 5-5. I like my 5-5 idea, by the way. Really, really find this one fun because I got inspired from last night's game. The Jackson Dart hit made me think of players that made you fear for their safety. For their safety, not your safety. I'm not talking about if you played football and they would hurt you. You genuinely watched them and thought, "Oh my God, they could get hurt on any sort of play." And
is this past tense too?
This is we're talking all time.
Then we're good.
Whatever. I got a list of 5 players. You have a list of 5 players. I know Asa will have a list of 5 players as well. And Tanvir, do you like this log line on the rundown? "Quote unquote serious NBA Cup talk."
Yes. I was like, "What is this about?"
With the Lakers in it, we
can do something with Asa.
We'll get 10 minutes of real NBA Cup talk.
Yes,
as they take on your San Antonio Spurs next week. Should be fascinating stuff. The Lakers want to win the cup. Does everybody? Two-time NBA Cup champion. Come on.
Will that be included in LeBron's?
I was about to say,
statistics?
Does 2 equal 1? How many cups equals 1 NBA championship?
I think you got to win 4.
We'll got to litigate this.
It's a quarter of a championship.
We'll discuss it after the break. So stay with us. We got a lot to discuss. 1 more hour left of Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
I'm here at the Roger Dunn Open. Former Fresno State football coach Pat Hill is at the first tee.
Hey, it's a fairway hit.
Yeah, but that's the wrong fairway, Coach.
I need to buy a golf game.
Coach, I really think you need a Roger Dunn makeover.
When you buy a game at Roger Dunn, you can play anybody, anytime, anywhere. This is the old coach, Pat Hill. I bought this 7-iron at Roger Dunn Golf. Number 8 at Tehama, 162 yards out. Eagle, baby!
On game day, don't just settle for weak snacks. You go big, like a boss. The Butcher Boss brings you the kickoff platter, stacked high with man-sized, fully cooked meats. Tender sliced tri-tip, fall off the bone, pork spare ribs, smoked sausage, fiery jalapeno poppers, already sliced, already prepped. This Sunday, don't just watch the game, own it with a kickoff platter from the Butcher Boss. So call today to pre-order yours. The Butcher Boss, 41 south of Riverstone.
When you think of California business machines, it wouldn't surprise me if you automatically thought 3-cent color copies. It's something CBM has become locally famous for. But now there's something else business owners are calling about: business phone systems. It's a beautiful thing. Copiers, printers, office phone systems, all with one simple call to California Business Machines. 559-225-5570 or online at cbmsolution.com.
At Citizens Business Bank, we've been taking a personal approach to banking for over 40 years and are consistently recognized as one of the top performing banks in the nation. Hi, I'm Susan Woosner, Senior Vice President and Manager of Citizens Business Bank in Fresno. We believe in the importance of building long-lasting and genuine relationships with our customers. We want to provide you with the solutions you need to grow your business because your success is our success. Citizens Business Bank, member FDIC.
At Helena Agri-Enterprises, we're committed to helping you make the best agronomic decisions for your farm. That's why we combine cutting-edge technology with superior product. Helena's agri-intelligence solutions use in-depth analysis to identify potential problems in the field before they take root. Combined with a complete line of high-quality crop production and crop protection inputs, Helena has the tools to help you increase productivity, enhance performance, and maximize your return on investment. Contact your local Helena representative or authorized dealer to create the right plan for your farm with Helena Products and Agri-Intelligence Solutions.
KFC's got your back this Thanksgiving with their Cajun deep-fried turkey. Fully cooked and Cajun seasoned, it's ready to reheat at home. More time for family, football, and fun. Pre-order a week in advance at a participating KFC and pick it up in person. Enjoy it a la carte or as part of a family meal or feast with sides like mashed potatoes, gravy, and warm biscuits. Make Thanksgiving extra tasty with KFC's Cajun turkey. Happy Thanksgiving from your locally owned KFC.
Craving big flavor? Head to Me and Ed's Victory Grill in Fresno. Bite into the legendary Victory Burger. Dig into the fall-off-the-bone ribs. Or share the ultimate Victory Platter with friends. From those legendary Me and Ed's pizzas to fresh salads, cold drinks, and a warm hometown vibe. Every bite and sip is a win. Watch the game, catch up with friends, or bring the family. Me and Ed's Victory Grill in Granite Park, Fresno. Don't miss ESPN's Major Wager Monday Night Football every week. Come hungry, leave a champion. Victory tastes better here.
Life gets messy, but your space doesn't have to. We are Rise and Shine Janitorial and Commercial Cleaning Services, where we clean because your time is important. From offices to schools to medical facilities, Rise and Shine handles it all with our trained staff and high-performance standards. Big jobs or small, Rise and Shine will never lock you into a contract. So let us take the stress off your plate. Contact Rise and Shine Janitorial and Commercial Cleaning Services. Call 559-649-5391 or visit riseshine559.com.
Your home for high school sports. 1430 ESPN, the Valley's local sports leader. KFIG Fresno.
I'm Christine Lisi. The College Football Playoff Selection Committee did not penalize Ole Miss because of former coach Lane Kiffin's departure for LSU. The Rebels moved up a spot to 6 in the penultimate rankings released tonight. 1 and 2 are still the same, Ohio State and Indiana. Then it's Georgia, Texas Tech, Oregon, Texas A&M at 7 with Oklahoma, Alabama, Notre Dame, Miami rounding out the top 10. Final rankings are Sunday. One of the big debates for the committee involved Alabama and Notre Dame the past couple of weeks, explains committee chairman Hunter Yurachek.
We looked at those two teams and how closely they have been over the past 3 weeks. Notre Dame went on the road, had a strong win at Stanford, but Alabama went on the road in a rivalry game. Looked really good, especially in the first half, getting up 17-0, ran the ball well. Auburn came back at them. They had a great gutsy call on 4th and 2 late in the third quarter to get a touchdown and then got the turnover late in that game.
The committee ranked BYU 11th and Miami 12th this week. In the NBA, Tyrese Maxey's got 15 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. He and the 76ers up on the Wizards 64-48 second quarter. In the first quarter, Trailblazers leading in Toronto over the Raptors 32-23. Pelicans power forward Zion Williamson out at least 3 weeks due to a right adductor injury. NHL, Red Wings a 2-0 lead on the Bruins at the first intermission. Stars and Rangers tied at 1 after 20 minutes. Senators 2, Canadiens 1 first intermission. Islanders and Lightning are scoreless after 1. Maple Leafs leading the Panthers 2-0 in the first. 2 assists for Bobby McMahon.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen. Coming up on Wednesday's show, Pro Football Hall of Famer Kurt Warner, Andrew Whitworth, Walter Payton Man of the Year, Coach Rack of the Savannah Bananas in studio, plus my latest NFL Power Rankings. That's Wednesday on The Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again. In anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks. But super excited to be here.
Phil Benotti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right. Behind the bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader here on this Tuesday, December 2nd. One more hour before we say goodbye for the night. We'll be back tomorrow for you folks. Another 3 hours tomorrow. Should be fun. Already lined up some good interviews. I think we're going to have one of the Fresno State basketball players on tomorrow. I think it's fair to say I got it on the books. Jake Heibrenner going to join us tomorrow. I was going to say something, and I'm not going to say it anymore because we usually yell something after that, and I'm going to keep it to off the mic for it. And we won't do it. We'll tell Tanvir what we were going to yell after the segment.
Oh, do tell.
It's after the segment. We're not going to do it on the segment.
This is off-air talk.
Jackson Moore going to join me tomorrow too. Signing day for all the high schoolers tomorrow, at least on the football side. Or early signing day or just signing day?
It's early signing.
Early signing day. So we'll see what names go to Fresno State officially tomorrow. That is at 5:15. Jackson Moore will be on tomorrow. So good couple guests on the guest list. By the way, also we got another student athlete of the week this week for Thursday from Emmanuel. That chattering laughter you hear from the other mic is Asa, who you've got gained accustomed to over the last I don't know how many months we've been doing this now. You coming in on Tuesdays, but it's been a bit now.
I think I've been on the show for like a year at this point.
Has it been a year?
I think so.
Tanvir, do you remember first time we've been bringing Asa in?
I do not. I remember when I came through I started being on the show in about March timeframe, and he was already on at that point. So,
okay. Wow, has it been a year?
I think so.
Okay, maybe it was like
crazy.
A slow time in Christmas time, and I was just like, "Come on, bud, let's."
What do you got going on?
What are you doing? You want to chop it up? Anyways, it's good to have you. Good to be here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. How you been?
Good. Lots of stuff going on.
Yeah, Christmas, all that stuff. You have a good Thanksgiving? I've been asking everybody on the show.
I had one of the better Thanksgiving I think Thanksgivings that I've had in recent memory.
What is the criteria for a better Thanksgiving for you?
The food has to be decent.
Okay.
That's really about it. I can deal with all the other stuff. The cool thing is that for a very, very long time it's been me and my mom.
Uh-huh.
And now it's me and my mom and Steph, and she's like, "You guys don't fight?" And I'm like, "No."
She expects conflict.
I mean, I guess that's the traditional American Thanksgiving is that you got that one in-law that says some things that are uncouth, and then you kind of got to hole yourself up in your room until it all blows over.
Does your mom want the traditional American Thanksgiving? Is that what she longs for? Do you need to manufacture?
She doesn't.
But she's expecting it though. She wants the fight.
No, Steph is the one that's you guys don't fight. I'm like, no, of course.
Oh,
we
I
don't.
thought you were talking your mom telling Steph,
oh,
you don't fight.
No.
That's what I thought as well.
You said it in a way where I thought your mom was like, wait, you don't fight with your girlfriend? Expecting you both to just be
we're just at each other's throats.
Yeah,
no, we love each other. We have a nice relationship.
Peak conflict walking into the door.
Every day in the Wagner Medina household, just at each other's throats.
That is legitimately what I thought he was saying as well.
I love the idea of your mother coming home and just
hey, you guys don't fight? What the hell's up with that?
I love my son no matter what, but I wish he was a little more fighting with his girlfriend. Could you imagine?
Hey, I'm bored. Can you guys get in a fight?
Hey, it's not spicy enough, guys.
You guys are boring.
The daytime television ain't cutting it right now.
Guiding Light ain't doing it for me anymore. I need something real.
Whatever the Portuguese dramas she's watched is.
She used to watch telenovelas, and it was so strange because she could understand Spanish, but listening to because my mom speaks Portuguese, obviously, but listening to her speak Spanish is like a white girl trying to order off the Taco Bell menu.
Oh God,
it's so bad.
Yeah.
It's embarrassingly bad.
Oh,
it's
boy.
You should have a better grip on this.
Better decision making on what you're doing there.
Yeah.
Okay, so flip side.
Okay, so sports. This is a sports show.
Well, no, Steph doesn't know that your mom. Steph wanted conflict from your mother and you.
Yes,
and she was not getting the conflict that she's been craving for at a Thanksgiving. What does she want from that situation?
I don't know. I don't know why you would want to fight on Thanksgiving. I'm like, it's a nice holiday. There's turkey. The biggest conflict that we had is that I kept having to get up and baste the turkey. This is the most exciting thing that happened all day, and it was great. I took a nap. I got to Molly and Luna got to hang out in the backyard, and it was nice.
Yeah.
This is the second day of this entire week where two different people have said they hated working on the turkey. Jorge said that he hated working on the turkey last time.
Yeah.
And now today it's Asa.
Yeah.
And
it's my
so
turn.
This is where I say we abolish turkey.
Well, here's the key.
From the Thanksgiving.
No, we don't.
Yes.
We don't abolish turkey. You want to get out of cooking the turkey? Just chow the cooking of the turkey. Like, just be bad.
Oh yeah, you just biff it once. That's
Biff
the
it
Asa
once,
special.
Biff it once, and then no one will expect you to make the turkey every. You get out of turkey duty the rest of your life.
Yeah,
it's the way you do it.
That's how I usually get out of helping people move.
This sounds like something Phil is.
Do you just ding up corners of walls? Like you're like, oh my bad. There
Yeah,
goes.
I'm like, you ain't getting your deposit back, dude.
Just drops the turkey.
You know when ASIC loves you is when he cares about moving your furniture instead of just throwing it around everywhere.
Yes, actually, that's very. You can ask Nico. I don't help people move based on principle because I've always my whole life I've been friend with a truck, and that's why people have been friends with me because they're going to move at some point, and I am the friend with the truck. And on principle, I was like, no.
One day
Nico moved into his apartment, and I was like, I will help you, and that is the only reason why. Because
would it be
we've been
worse
friends
if
for so
I
long.
just would it be worse if I just invited you over and hey, I just need you to put that couch in your truck real quick for me, and then move it somewhere? Like
if you did that, I'd be like, good luck.
it's just gonna take.
Straight up, I would leave.
It's gonna take 5 minutes. It's just
It's fine. Just
down the
put the couch in. We go somewhere else, and then we take the couch out. That's it.
It's
5 minutes.
5 minutes. I'll buy you a taco. That's what friendship is about.
Yeah, moving couches and buying tacos.
Anyways, speaking of moving couches and moving on with everything that's going on here in this season, of course, what a segue. We have
Bravo.
the Bulldogs. I just wanted to get your big picture thoughts now. We're 8-4 final end of the year. Fresno State finishes at 8-4. We did a little bit of a recap yesterday. I don't think we totally explored the idea of what this season means moving forward, what it looks like. Coach Entz in his first year, there's still a bowl game to be played, so it's not the totality of the performance of this Bulldog side. I come away very excited about the defense from what I saw. Of course, there's pieces that they'll have to replace, but Asa, at 8-4, is this what you wanted out of the first year of Coach Entz and this team?
Yes, absolutely.
I think it's fair to like evaluate it that way, even through the frustrations of what everyone was feeling, right? You were one that felt frustrated.
I was, yeah. And at the end of the day, first year coach, brand new offense, brand new defense. We got here. We're sitting at 8-4. No, yeah. Despite the lack of a passing game, we got here on the ground, and that's fine. We got here not exactly how I wanted to, but we got here.
Do you want to know my perception of how the frustration came to be for this team? Is not because they didn't underperform or overperform in certain situations, but remember at the beginning of the season, I was like, what is the expectation for this team? And nobody could really give me a clear answer of what that was. And so when there was no bar to be set based on this team, it was very ambiguous of what we were going to expect out of this team in the first bit of the season. And as we progressed, you saw some things that showed that this team had capabilities of being even better than what 8-4 presented in terms of it. And to that point, I would say fans got frustrated because they knew there was better football in this team than I think was perceived. But on the flip side, I would argue what came together is a team that clearly showed they could defend very well, could turn people over, an offense that, at times found ways to execute. I would say the red zone execution for the most part this year was very good from the Fresno State football side of things.
I would agree, yeah.
I would argue that it was efficient that way. I simply believe if you gave people the totality of the picture, the 8-4 and everything like that, at the beginning of the year, they would take it in a heartbeat based off of the progression of what we saw. But I think the frustration grew when you knew this team was more than capable of winning more than 8 games at certain points of the season. But I would argue that's growing pains within a program where you have a couple of lulls in some certain situations. Clearly, Colorado State was the low point of this team. But there's some high points as well. I would say the Boise game is the high point. I would say Georgia Southern game was a high point, even though what Georgia Southern turned into this year was not any sort of thing, any spectacular team to beat. But
Hawaii game
was a high point. Knowing what we know about Hawaii this year, I think in the perception of what everything was going on with the season, I think it is fair to say that I think they performed just as right about where they should have been this year in terms of everything. We knew Utah State was a tough team, and I said it before. And unfortunately, they couldn't get the win there. But outside of it, the Bulldogs are in a spot where they're trending upwards, I would say. And I think that's all people can ask for at the end of 12 games in this regular season.
I think if you handed just about any Fresno State fan like a monkey's paw and said like you can make a wish and Fresno State will go 8-4.
Well, I think everybody would go 12-0 and want to win everything. You get the play.
Yeah, but if the caveat was like they are going to go 8-4 if you say yes, I think a lot of people would say yes. Despite how frustrating and how it looked. I guess.
I don't know. Well, there is the irrational fan base that is that's out there, and could call in at 559-320-1430. But Tanvir, when we go to the logical side of things in terms of it, the perception of this team is going to be interesting when you move past, especially if you see 10-2 next year, or you see 11-1 on the horizon. If a few things go a different way for this group moving forward, it's going to look different. It certainly will. There'll be new faces and new names to think about, but it's going to be interesting to watch it progress.
Yeah, coming into the season, my internal expectations was I just wanted this team to get to a bowl game. After what had occurred the season before last season, and we getting a new coach, I think getting to a bowl game was a good enough goal to get to. Now, obviously, goals change based off of what happens throughout a season. So when you go into the Colorado State game at a 5-1 record, going into Mountain West play, you're thinking, okay, this team can actually do something. We may be able to get to maybe 12-1, 11-2, 10-3, like these type of records by season's end. And yes, sure, maybe it didn't end up that way. We finished 8-4, still going to a bowl game with an opportunity to win. But there was a lot of things that this team accomplished this season that I'm really proud of. One, the defensive side of the ball. I think they finally have a really good defensive identity. And even though they're losing a lot of players, hopefully that defensive identity will go on to the next year's team. I also think that winning against San Jose State, winning against Boise State, winning against Hawaii, these are three games that generally have been roadblocks for us in years past. Those are good wins as well. It's just going to be about tightening up what the issues were this year. Moving on to next year, what will the quarterback situation be? What will the passing game situation be? And overall, I still think this is a very good season when you look at it from a broad perspective.
Yeah, and it'll ramp up schedule-wise next year if we really consider it too, right? Because while the non-conference this year with the Kansas game, which I do believe Kansas did end up not being bowl eligible this year. I believe they finished 5-7 in a more disappointing season than I think we anticipated. I think we thought Kansas could have been a borderline top 25 team based off of that. But outside of it, I think next year there's clear and obvious challenges. USC being one of them is an interesting test to see where that will go at the start of the year. Sacramento State, which is more interested in throwing concerts after football games than winning them. We'll see them come into our school next year as well.
A weird bunch they are.
Yeah, a little strange what's going on at Sac State right now in terms of that.
We'll blame Shaq.
You got San Jose State, which is going to be back on the schedule next year in a non-conference form, but that protected rivalry. You get Rice coming into town, which I'll be straight up honest with you. I don't have a perception of what Rice football was this year. Were they any sort of good? I look at it.
They're
they
at
lost
5-7 as well.
They lost horrifically to South Florida at the end of the year. 52-3. So North Texas also
they gave up 50 points back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, they gave up 60 points to UTSA earlier this year. So I would say Rice is not it right now in terms of it. But we talked about this, Tanvir, before. Like with the new conference and the 7 conference games, they're going to have to find an additional 8th game somewhere as well. And so it'll be a quick turn to see where that'll look like and how it'll be perceived. Thank goodness they play everybody in the conference, so we legitimately know who is going to be good and who's going to make them out the conference championship in this Pac-12, whatever it is. So at least they get the benefit of that instead of the ambiguity of whatever the Mountain West was this year and how it turned out. There's a lot of doors to be open for this Bulldog team moving forward, especially with what its momentum is. And we heard it from Paul Loeffler quite simply, and it's the old adage in football. It quite simply will have to come down to the quarterback position next year and what decision has to be made there. And I alluded to it in my conversation with him, and maybe the bowl game is important to see what Conklin maybe does in that football game. I think there is room to see him do something in that game on whenever it will be or wherever it will be. I think there's a chance and an opportunity, as he alluded to. And so I'd imagine that's what's going to be moving forward for this Bulldog team in the foreseeable future. But I spewed a while. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what to take it from there. But
it's your show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your perception of, the needs of this team? Coach Entz really alluded to it's going to be younger next year. There's not a very big senior class next year, which indicates to me they're going to have to dig in the transfer portal just a little bit to just get more adult bodies in there, I would say.
Yeah, I think depth is going to be a concern just with how young the team is. I mean, yeah, you're right. They're going to have to hit the transfer portal pretty hard. Obviously, quarterback's a need. I'm not sure what the running back room looks like
Luke
next year.
should be back next year. Donaldson should be back next year. I know Arsenault is a graduating senior. I'm trying to think of Ramirez should be back. So I think they only really lose Arsenault in terms of guys. And I think Gilliam might be coming.
What about defensively?
A
lot of players.
Finn out. Finn Claypool out. Jaden Pearson out. Graduation.
Zillion Hamilton out.
Zillion Hamilton out. You lose Corey Foreman.
Right?
You lose Corey Foreman this year in terms of it. I don't know if DJ Lafitte is out. So I think he might still be around. Luckily, you'll get Simeon Harris back.
Okay.
Luckily, Cam Brocca should be out. Thunderbird should be back. He's only a sophomore. So there's still a few key pieces in each level that I say would be really important to have. With Simeon Harris on the backside, Kavion Thunderbird in the middle of the field, and then on the front line there. Jason Jackson Sr. I don't know if he is or not. I should know this off the top of my head as well. But what do you look? He's only a sophomore, so I like Jason Jacks coming back as well.
That's good.
So that's a good 3-level guys to me.
Yeah,
that can be.
You got someone everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere on each level of the defense. But, it's interesting. I guess we'll see how it all plays out in the spring. Spring stuff will play out a lot too when it comes to the wide receivers and the skills. But I think they need a lot more on the wide receiver front.
Wide receiver is where I was going to go. I think you have Josiah Freeman was the only guy this year.
Paul alluded he's eligible for another year.
Right, and so you may get another year out of him. I think a lot of the guys that came in this year, I think they need to step up going into next season, whether that be any of the sophomores or freshmen that were on the team this year. I don't know what it's going to look like in terms of who's going to commit to Fresno State, but you're probably not going to get somebody that's going to just straight come in and be a massive effect on the wide receiver front. So that's the biggest thing in terms of recruiting, seeing where that's going to go. Quarterback was another situation where I think that they need to have an answer for that, because I felt like while we found out a couple of answers, I would say, this season, it really took an effect for the entire year on what the QB situation was in the offseason. So getting that answer is going to be key. And I also think the defensive line, that's the other big part of this that I think they need to fix. I think the secondary will still be good with a guy like Simeon Harris back there and some of these younger guys that are still playing. A couple of them even had an interception against San Jose State, right? The linebackers, I think Thunderbird coming back will be able to lead this trio or quartet of linebackers. But the defensive line is where I think they'll need some help. So those are the three position groups that I think they need to really hit hard in terms of recruiting and just being able to make them better in terms of their freshman and sophomore class.
Ethan Tierney's back again, too. He's a sophomore. He's had a sneaky good year in the DB side of things. I'm just kind of looking through the roster just to kind of get an idea of where it is. DJ Lafitte was the one I had. He's only a sophomore, so Dijon Lafitte is still, and he was an all-conference honorable mention on the D-line. So he's another particular player I'm interested in seeing stick around there from the front side as well. Outside of that, if we had to grade the season, and I'll end the segment if you want to put an overall grade on the season, I'm putting you on the spot here, Asa. What would you overall grade Fresno State's season this year?
I would give it a B.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a B+. I think that a lot of the games that we lost this year, they were definitely winnable, right? I'm talking Utah State, Colorado State, those two especially. The San Diego State and the Kansas losses, whatever. Like, I feel like those were games where we weren't favored to win, and therefore we lost, and that was fine. But I think if they would have won those two games, 10-2 was in the sights for this Fresno State team, and that's why I don't necessarily have it at an A. But still, very good for a first year for Matt Entz. Maybe I'm not giving enough credit there, but I think a B+ is good.
I think I'm at a B because I just think there was a little more time for them to. I think putting away opponents was a tough thing for them to do. They did it a couple of times this year when it came to really putting the game away with San Jose State and Southern. But I think you need a little more foot on the throat from this team when it comes to beating teams out there. When it comes to that, a little too close for comfort when it came to down the stretch situation, key situations that I would say I think this team needed to be a little bit better in. So I would say B, right with Asa. But overall, I would say I feel very good about where we are as a program if you're a Fresno State fan in terms of that overall. All right, let's take a break. I got a 5 of 5 to do. We got a 5 of 5 to do. I think this is going to be a fun one. I kind of can't wait for this one. So, because we could get a wide variety of players out here in terms of this. We're going to do the top 5 NFL players, and we're talking all time from our memory, that made us fear for their safety when they played football. So I can't wait to see what happens there. Stay with us. More Behind the Bench next on 1430 ESPN.
Hey, it's Phil Benotti from Behind the Bench. As the weather cools down and the action heats up in the sports world, that also means that sometimes more slips, hits, and injuries. Just like in sports, when life knocks you down, you need a strong team behind you. That's Davis and Van Wagenen, attorneys at law, right here in Fresno. They've helped Valley families recover and win the compensation they deserve. And you don't pay unless they win. Visit DavisVanWagenenLaw.com. Davis and Van Wagenen, your hometown injury attorneys.
When hunger's in the red zone, Toledo's Mexican restaurant has the winning play. Huddle up for their new chicken deals starting at just $14.99. Gandos, chicken mole enchiladas, and Sam's Special. Use promo code ESPN for an extra 10% off, in addition to reward points and discounts. Plus, swing on by Toledo's and catch all your college and NFL action on the big screens. Happy hour, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5. Saturdays and Sundays, 8 to 10, with $10 apps, $7 house margaritas, and $5 drafts. Toledo's Mexican Restaurant.
Ever wonder where those large box stores get their green and orange racks? How about equipment or auto parts store shelving? Well, you guessed it. Fresno Rack made it right here in California. Since 1987, Fresno Rack and Shelving has been helping school districts, businesses, cities, and counties, basically any market anywhere, increase their warehouse storage with industrial racking and parts shelving that last a lifetime. Call, visit, or click FresnoRack.com today.
Citrus season is here, and once again, growers are choosing orange over blue because Kubota means less downtime, easier controls, and better value through the long harvest stretch. When you're racing weather, labor, and time, uptime matters, and Kubota delivers. So, turn to Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer, for the tractors and service they depend on. With Fresno and Wrigley locations, Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer, is ready for you this season. Visit Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer, today. Online at pioneerequipmentca.com.
Welcome to A+ Signs.
Thanks. Yeah, I need some custom exterior signs for my business.
Great. What's the name of your business?
C+ Signs.
Wait, you own a sign company?
Yep, C+ Signs.
And you want us, A+ Signs, to make your signs?
Yeah, I need them really fast, and we can't touch our turnaround times.
We are kind of known for that.
For signs that stop traffic, drive traffic, and even direct traffic, call A+ Signs.
Remember, A+ has great technicians to service and repair signs, too.
Yeah, we got a guy, but he's afraid of ladders.
Are you an athlete ready to level up your performance the raw way? Introducing the Raw Athlete Program from Raw Farm. High schoolers, college athletes, gym warriors, and pros, Raw Farm wants you to see why professional athletes and nutritionists are fueling up with Raw Farm raw whole milk to hit their team goals and personal gains. Raw Farm is the best 100% A2 cream top from seasonally grass-raised cows, non-GMO, certified humane, 100% made in America, and crafted for serious gains. Visit rawfarmsusa.com to learn more and find it at your local Sprouts location through the nation.
The Black Friday clearance has been extended at Fashion Furniture and Lou Rodman's. Up to 70% savings at Fashion Furniture, with discounts on 100 dining room sets with 24-hour delivery. And don't miss half-price patio furniture at Lou Rodman's. Two good friends, two great stores, and 0% financing at both. The Black Friday clearance has been extended at Fashion Furniture and Lou Rodman's through Sunday on El Paso across from River Park. Don't miss it.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700 plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Back to Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. We have our 5 at 5 to do, which is always in the 5 o'clock hour. Asa Tanvir here with me, and we're going to be doing a fun list, a 5 of 5 list. But first, let's roll the intro.
It's time now for Phil's 5 at 5.
We're doing the top 5 NFL players that make me fear for their safety. Now, in the criteria of that, there could be a multitude of things that go about it, but this is in really just in relation to response to what Jackson Dart did, which was just hurtling across the Foxborough sky as he was trying to reach for a first down.
I was not expecting that. That was really funny.
I mean, the man flew, Asa. Like.
No, I saw it.
You saw that play, and it was. I couldn't stop watching.
I was like, "What are you doing, man?
Like, get out of bounds! It's crazy, like crazy stuff." Guys, criteria, just real quick before we go to players and we go to our list. When you think of fearing for their safety, what comes to mind? When you think of the style of players we're talking about here?
I went total mom.
Yeah.
Like, I'm worried about them.
Okay.
I'm worried about them playing a contact sport.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Tanvir, what was your qualifiers for people who made your list?
Yeah, I found it hard for me to put defensive players on this list because I feel like
I got 2.
Okay. I have 1.
Really?
And
okay.
So, because I just feel like when you think of players getting hurt, you think of players getting absolutely smacked, and those players are generally offensive players. So I only have 1 defensive player. I'll be interested to see what your 2 defensive players are.
Yeah, I got some fascinating entries here. One that might throw you back a little bit. All right, let's go to number 5.
Number 5.
I guess I'll start. Should I start? Yeah, I should start.
Go ahead.
I'm going to throw out a quarterback here. I'm going to throw out Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
Just simply with his style of play. He's gotten better about not taking those big critical hits, but it has been he's just a little bit of a smaller quarterback out there. He's not crazy short in terms of we're talking Drew Brees territory in it, but there was genuine concern, and there still is. He's been better about it, but during his Brown days, during his days where he was just hurtling around a football field, there were some hits that I got genuinely terrified for when it came to him being a guy who's going to live after playing football. So he's gotten better. So that's why he's not as high on my list. But if I think of quarterbacks that just suddenly hurdle themselves like Jackson Dart, Baker Mayfield's like the number one player I can think of when it comes to that. Let's go. You want to go?
You can go Tanvir me.
Tanvir Asa. We'll do that rotation.
All right, my number 5, sadly, is a person who is already injured this season. It's Cam Skattebo, the running back for the New York Giants. I love the guy, but there is not a running back in the league that I've seen lead with the crown of their helmet more than that man has. And I fear for what he has to deal with after football, but I hope for the talent that he has, he stays healthy. So Cam Skattebo is my number 5.
You see him doing the hard count on his
yes,
with the helmet on.
If he wanted to just leave football and become a full-time streamer, I feel like he could make some money in that department.
Oh yeah, even more than football maybe. All right, so what do you got?
I'm gonna be lame. Any offensive lineman, only because those dudes get run up on a lot and their knees. Oh, the knees.
Yes, the knees. Is there one particular one you want to protect the most of offensive linemen out there?
I'm going to say Walker Little. He gets picked on a lot.
Yeah.
It's because he's not very good.
Okay. There you go. All right. Poor Walker Little. Because he's not very good. And he gets picked on a lot. Oh, that's unfortunate. All right.
Number 4.
My number 4 entry, I'm going Rob Gronkowski. I know he is a big lumbering man and is just looks like a man among boys when he plays football, but you see the amount of stuff he has to wear to make sure he doesn't die out there. I tell you what, any ball thrown to him over the middle of the field is always reminiscent of me, just getting flashbacks to when Brandon Pollard came and took out his knee in the 2011 AFC Championships. That's not fun. But anytime Rob Gronkowski was on the field and he got tackled, I was always fearful that something bad was going on or he would get decapitated in some sort of way. And let me tell you, teams really wanted to tee off on him in the middle of the field. So I'm going Gronk as my number 4 athlete.
I feel like I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to go with any senile man that is playing quarterback above the age of 38.
So Joe Flacco.
I'm talking Joe Flacco.
He's not senile.
I'm talking Brett Favre in the
screenshot of Aaron Rodgers this past week. Yeah.
Brett Favre in the latter parts of his career.
Who said so? I saw someone said something. Aaron Rodgers looked like
one of the guys that tried to rob the house from Home Alone.
Yeah.
No, that's totally true. So Joe Flacco was the quarterback that I wanted to highlight, but any 38 to 39 plus year quarterback, even Tom Brady in the last year of his career, I felt like was getting smoked.
Any quarterback that has no business being that old and playing in the NFL
Exactly. Hey, so what's your number 4?
I'm going to be a homer. I'm going to say Trevor Lawrence, but here's why. He's very tall. He's very skinny. That dude will fold like a lawn chair.
Yeah.
He is a gust of wind away from being just blown out of Everbank Stadium.
If I was thinking of another quarterback that would get launched into the sky like Jackson Dart would, I would worry that Trevor Lawrence would get that.
It is one of them, yes.
Yeah.
There was a guy that I didn't include on my list, but was number 6. I feel like he fits in that category. It would be Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
I feel like Kyler Murray would get absolutely launched by Jared Verse.
That's fair. We might see that this Sunday. No, never mind.
Sadly,
we will not see it.
He will not be there.
Yeah, we will not see it Sunday. All right.
Number 3.
Going back to an old Niner in the mid-2000s, early 2000s for my first defensive entry, one who wanted to change his name based off of how he flew across the secondary. We're going Dante Whitner as a player. Just simply I remember specifically his style of play, just flying across the field, legit wanting to decapitate guys, almost legit taking himself out in the process as well. Him and Brandon Merriweather are two guys I can think of in the early 2000s, mid 2000s that I can think of that I'm like, okay, that's a different style of player that is, I would say, recklessly trying to kill people. And so I'm gonna nominate Dante Whitner in here, just simply for that sake. And I very much vividly remember the memories of that.
Yeah, so much so that he supposedly changed his last name to Hittner.
Dante Hittner.
Yep.
Yes.
And
did you not know this?
I did not know that. That's cool.
He wanted to change his name to Dante Hittner.
Yep. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. My number 3, it's another former, I guess, San Francisco 49er, Dre Greenlaw. I feel like he not only does he play with this reckless abandonment whenever he is healthy, but I feel like ever since he was in a 49ers uniform, just injuries found him in whatever way. and that was capped by the Super Bowl when he was running onto the field, and he tore his Achilles tendon. And he is one of the hardest hitters in the league right now. So even though he is healthy for the Broncos, that's another reason why I fear for his safety. Maybe I fear for the people that he's hitting, but I also fear for him.
Another homer pick. I'm going to say Donovan Darius, former strong safety for the Jags, because he used to try and put people in the hospital. And in doing so,
we're all in the same kind of realm on number 3.
Yeah. Either high risk, high reward. Either he is going to the hospital or whoever he is hitting is getting put in the hospital.
Certainly. Let's go to
number 2.
I have Luke Kuechly here at number 2, just simply
how that
career started kind of going the way it went, and I was starting to get this took a dark turn on the top, whatever. But I just simply, of all of the defensive players out there, to me, I always looked at Luke Kuechly. I'm like, I really hope this guy kind of figures it out in terms of staying healthy in that way. I vividly remember the Thursday night football game where I watched him concussed, and people thought he was crying when he was getting carted off in a weird kind of like concussion-y kind of way. And it's a very vivid memory for me when it comes to it. But I cared about it because I wanted Luke Kuechly so much to play a lot more football than he did. Surefire Hall of Famer for sure. But I got Kuechly here.
Yeah, okay. That's a good pick for sure. I was like, I don't know who the other one would be, but yeah, Kuechly, I can understand that. These next 2 players that I'm going to say, I'm not going to say they're basically the same in terms of talent, but they're basically the same in terms of they get absolutely knocked out anytime they're on the field. Am I going to go with the modern day version or the old version? I think I'm going to go with the modern day version at number 2. I'm going to go with Chris Olave of the New Orleans Saints. When he was playing with Derek Carr, I had not seen so many hospital balls being thrown to Chris Olave. That man got concussion after concussion. I think, thankfully, even though his team is terrible, that Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler are putting it a little bit more safer areas than what would happen soon. So Chris Olave is my number 2.
All right.
I'm going to say Jake Haener.
Oh, Jake.
Because that boy's my son. And watching him play for Fresno State, I'm like, please, God, don't get hurt. Don't get hurt. Don't get hurt. And then he did.
You remember when he went into the Monday night game? You're talking in college, too, even when he was playing in college. Okay.
Yeah, I watched him play against UCLA with a dang near broken shoulder. Like, it was crazy.
Broken shoulder and 2 bad hips.
And then he showed up in that, was it the Monday night game? He showed up late in against Kansas City, and we're, there's something there. And then he never played again.
Nope.
Unfortunately. He had his first start, and they were gone after a half. All right.
Number 1.
This one's an easy one for me. I'm going back to the quarterback position. I just remember him just flailing all over the field and the way he was being hit and the way he was playing football. I'm going to Robert Griffin III from my memory back in 2012, 2013, 2014 era of football, and he really has never been the same since he has been playing football, obviously, down the stretch of his later teams, including the Browns. But anytime I saw RG3 run out in open space, it got very nervous for me. Even his ability to cut on the football field and run around, his knees were not very much intact, regardless of being hit. And then clearly it never became the same for Robert Griffin III after that. So RG3 is my last entry at my top 5 players that make me fear for their safety.
Yeah, so I picked another receiver at number 1, and he's basically the older version of Chris Olave, just less talented. Austin Collie, the wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts, would get wrecked every time he tried to catch a pass from Peyton Manning. And, that man Peyton was trying to set him up, and I will never forgive him for that, even though I never had a liking towards Austin Collie. But, yeah, I've seen too many videos where Austin Collie is just getting smoked, and I felt bad for him even after he retired. So Austin Collie is my number 1.
I got Cam Scattaboo because that man is the one that I'm pretty sure if you told him to run through a wall, he not only would try, he would succeed. That man's brain is going to be so smooth by the end of his playing career.
So the reason he was at number 5 and not number 1 for me is because, I feel like he's just used to it at this point.
His body is, used to what it is.
He's literally built for this.
Didn't you see there was, a video of him just hitting his helmet against the wall as they're ready to go outside?
When he was playing at Arizona State,
he's just,
just hitting a brick wall.
with his helmet on.
Actually hitting a wall.
Yeah,
My goodness.
He's just crazy man. All right.
That was Phil's 5 at 5.
And aces and damn ears. I have like one more dark, like honorable mention. I know you're shaking your head like I shouldn't even say
Are
it.
we telepathically thinking the same thing?
Did you play for the Buffalo Bills?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have to say.
That's all we have to say.
That's all we have to say. That's what I'm gonna.
Praying for his health.
Yeah, we just
Oh.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we wrap up the show next on 1430 ESPN.
Hey, Bulldog fans, Lynn's Restaurant Group, a proud partner of Fresno State Athletics, has launched a brand new app. With over 8 locations like J-Pot, Ramen Hayashi, and Hino Oishi, the app brings all your favorites together in one place. Order ahead, skip the wait, and earn rewards every time you dine. Whether it's game night or family night, the app has you covered. New members even score $5 in LRG credit just for signing up. Download the Lynn's Restaurant Group app today and start earning with every visit. Go Dogs!
The sound of bees means lots of blooms, and lots of blooms means a profitable crop year. But those delicate blooms can easily be destroyed by adverse weather conditions, which in turn can be devastating to your crop investment. Now is the time to secure multi-peril crop insurance, which covers your almond crop during bloom. Bowman & Associates, your local crop insurance specialist, has been writing crop insurance for almost 40 years. Bowman & Associates is one of the largest crop insurance agencies in the state and nation. Call Roger Kent or Quinn Bowman today and ask about their multi-peril crop insurance for almonds. Bowman & Associates can design a policy with protection based on your own production experience. Ask about the new Price Option Plus, which increases the insurance price per pound to make it closer to the market price of almonds. Deadline for multi-peril coverage is December 31st. Call Bowman & Associates at 499-2020. That's 499-2020. California Department of Insurance license number 0F64178.
Bowman & Associates, with crop insurance specialists.
When it comes to heating and cooling and solar systems, regular maintenance pays big dividends and is very affordable when you call Donald P. Dick Air Conditioning. The majority of AC issues can be prevented with regular maintenance. With one call, Mr. Cool will inspect, clean, and calibrate your system, then set you up a maintenance plan that keeps performance high and repairs low. You don't always need to upgrade your system. You might just need a service call. A clean, calibrated system is a minor service that can save you major money. Let Donald P. Dick review your unit's age, repair history, and energy usage, and give it a good cleaning to maximize your energy investment. Call 559-255-1644. That's 255-1644 to schedule a service call by Donald P. Dick Air Conditioning. Locally owned for 3 generations. Call 559-255-1644 and let Mr. Cool help you start saving money now.
Biggest party in the valley. Go Dogs.
Attention cannabis lovers, your favorite dispensary, Valley Pure, now has an app. Stay connected with exclusive deals, special promotions, and the best products. All at your fingertips. Don't wait. Download the Valley Pure app today on the Apple Store or Google Play. Claim your rewards when you earn them and start saving by downloading and turning on notifications today. Be sure to visit one of 5 Valley Pure locations around the Central Valley. And don't miss out on the best offers. Valley Pure, where quality meets convenience.
14:30 ESPN. Asa, feeling the Christmas vibes already?
I actually really like that song.
Yeah, it's a good one. Very good one. We may do a 5 of 5, like towards the Christmas side of things, of top 5 Christmas songs out there.
Okay, I'm into it.
Yeah, I put a "Let It Snow" by Michael Bublé to start the show, and I put "Let It Snow" by Frank Sinatra.
The superior one. We finished with the better one.
Yes. Don't play Wham. Don't
do it.
Don't do it. We're in a contest with our friends. Dan Vera, if you want to, trust me, I'm going to get whammed on Thursday when we're at the furniture store.
Yes.
We're fetching furniture. It is 2.5 hours of me in a department store, and it's gonna happen. So I'm already preparing myself for it. We do this thing with our friend group called Whamageddon. If you avoid Last Christmas, is that the song name?
Yes.
Yeah, by Wham. If you hear it, you're out.
Oh yeah, I'm already out. I heard it today.
Did you hear it today?
Yeah, because it's on the player piano.
Oh, so did someone played it?
No, we have a player piano that plays itself, and so it plays "Last Christmas" by Wham.
Is it instrumental or is it actually?
No, it's the track, and then there's
track.
a piano accompaniment with it.
Interesting. Well, sorry you're out, bud.
I mean, I'm always out. That's why I don't play.
Because
I'm out. But I'm out before it even starts.
Well, you actually, I think you were the fourth out. So you outlasted a couple.
Oh
people.
my God, it did.
You outlasted. You outlasted some people there. Hey, you got a show Friday.
I do have a show Friday. My band, for the record, is playing with a legendary ska band from the 90s called Save Ferris. It's kind of one of those meet your heroes situations. They're big time. I grew up listening to them in high school and stuff, so it's actually really cool. I got the call Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to open for Save Ferris?" The most casual email ever, and I'm like,
"Yeah,
yes."
Well, there you go.
Please.
So
yeah, Friday at show starts at 8. It's at Strummers over in Tower District. Going to be a real good time. Yeah, tickets at numbskullshows.com.
I want to joke with it because I think the Who's Line show is happening that night.
Yeah,
at Tower,
down the street.
And I want Ryan Stiles and all those guys to come to the show after. I'm wondering if we could get them to walk over across the street and
that'd be fun.
Get the Who's Line as it anyway guy. Have you ever watched Who's Line?
Which is so funny because there's a bit called Ska Band or Improv Troupe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And we can
you just look at a picture of 5 dudes.
Tanvir, great improv. Who's Line is anyway. You grow up in a certain era of television. I don't know if ABC Family still exists as a channel. I don't know if that disappeared or something like that or turned into
It's called something.
Else.
I think it's Freeform or something now.
Something dumb. Something exotic. Anyways, I've been going around a rabbit hole of Who's Line on YouTube, so I'm revisiting the show. It's
a good rabbit hole to go down.
So good stuff. Okay, hey, I wanted to bring this topic up, and I didn't get a chance to all show, and I wanted to talk this because it's a little topical based off of last night's football game with the Patriots, and this is more in relation to the Rams right now. Stafford had I don't know if I call it subpar. I think it was just kind of regressed to the mean kind of game for him with a couple of the turnovers against Carolina. Ended up losing that game because of a fumble. He was the clear-cut favorite for the MVP. Drake May goes out and just has another efficient football game against the New York Giants. And my question is, did anything change in the perception of what the MVP award will look like at the end of the year? Did Matthew Stafford lose ground this week in that conversation, or is he still, to your guys' opinion, the favorite to win the National Football League MVP? I have one opinion, but I want to know what you guys think real quick before we move off to the end of the show here.
I still think that Matthew Stafford is ahead right now in the MVP voting. Yes, Drake May does have more passing yards than Matthew Stafford right now.
But he's got one more game on him,
yes,
to be fair.
And so I also think that the touchdown disparity, Matthew Stafford has 9 more touchdowns. He's got 2 less interceptions. Both are playing amazing football, but I just think Matthew Stafford is slightly ahead. I also think that if you just look at the teams, the Rams and the Patriots, they're both very close to each other. But I think Matthew Stafford, in terms of performances, there's more performances against better teams, I would say, that Matthew Stafford has done versus Drake May. I saw something the other day that said the Rams are 6-2 against current playoff teams, and that to me is the separator between the two.
What do you think, Asa?
I haven't been paying a lot of attention to the MVP race, but I think Tanvir makes an excellent argument on Matthew Stafford's behalf.
Well, here are your odds. You want to hear the MVP odds? These are fascinating. Top 5 odds.
Give them to me.
Drake May is at a minus 135 to win the MVP right now.
Really?
Stafford at plus 125. Then at 15 to 1, my hot take, Dak Prescott, sitting there at third spot in the MVP race. I'm telling you that number's going to shrink if the Cowboys keep winning.
Dak's been playing well. As much as I used to love to rip on him, he's definitely proven me wrong.
My hot take, and I don't know, I've been on this island. I feel like the island is going to start getting populated if they beat the Lions this week. I think Dak wins the MVP if they win like 5 straight to close the year and win the division.
That's kind of a tall ask, though, don't you think?
The schedule does not look as formidable as it looks for the Dallas Cowboys. Outside of this Lions game, they have some easy stuff moving forward. They could really rip it off here moving forward. But then again, we're asking Dallas to play consistent football down the stretch. We know what that is. Number 4. Would you want to take a guess who's the number 4 odd to win MVP in the National Football League?
I got nothing.
I'd imagine it's a quarterback because they don't give love to any other position, which is very sad because Myles Garrett should be on there. But
it is a quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes.
No.
Okay, so let's go with, I don't know, Justin Herbert?
Not Justin
Josh
Herbert.
Allen?
Josh Allen's number 5 at 25 to 1. The entry you're missing at 19 to 1.
Is this Jordan Love?
It is Jordan Love.
What?
To win MVP in the National Football League.
All right.
Yeah,
come on.
I am shocked. I had to double take at looking at this list. He is 19 to 1. I think it's a 3-horse race. I know Jonathan Taylor was another entry in there that could be considered, but I think people are moving away from that conversation as the Colts continue to slide.
He's tailed off.
Yeah.
Over the last 4 games, he's had performances against the Steelers where he had 45 rush yards. He had 244 against Atlanta, which was insane, but then he had 58 against Kansas City and then 85 against the Texans.
You hear that, Asa? Don't let him run for about 280 on Sunday against your team.
Jags, number 1 in run defense.
We like that.
We do.
We like that.
Let's hope it still holds.
And the Colts streak and all that. How many wins in a row has it been?
Oh, God, I think it's 10 years plus at this point.
We're getting there. It's crazy. One of the longer streaks.
Fingers crossed.
All right. Good show, guys. I appreciate it. And Asa, once again, your show Friday at 8.
Friday at 8 at Strummers. Be there or don't.
I will not.
I would like you to be there.
I will not be fake. I will be there.
You will be there. I appreciate you.
We'll be there.
Thank you.
And should be a lot of fun because I have no interest in watching any football that night. Get out of here, Mountain West Championship. Tanvir, good show.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you next time, and we'll have our show back 3:00. Till then, we'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Behind the Bench.
So winter's officially here, and the last thing you want is your house cold and your furnace sounding